We've used that in the past, yes.
Yes.
But lately we've been using that. Yeah, we've used that at least a dozen times.
Really?
Yes.
I can't even hear it. It's at 9. There. Wait.
Yeah, because it gets a little louder.
Yeah, but...
Shows how much Ryan's paying attention.
Cool.
Okay.
That's accurate. That's
an
accurate response. Oh my goodness. We have music for the show for the past 5 months. I think I've had that on.
Man, you know what? I listen to myself talk so much. Everything else is ancillary and inadequate.
That's a fair point. That is a fair point.
I mean, without my talking, there's no show.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get this started.
God, that's
loud.
It should be.
You turned it up a little too high.
Yeah, I turned it up to 11.
Yes, that's why I kept it at 9 because it's usually the audio level that we have it at, and it's fine.
Okay.
But Happy New Year, buddy.
Yeah, Happy New Year. It's amazing we've only been around for 2024 years. So very interesting. Very young. We're a very young society.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
kind of.
That.
Anyway.
So, yeah, man, what's up? How's what'd you do for New Year's? Anything or?
We were at my in-laws for. We went down to my parents for Christmas, and then we had a late Christmas with my in-laws, and then we were just there until New Year's Day, and we got home New Year's Day with our whole load of stuff that we got.
Oh wow! So you got your, what do they call it? Your haul? Did you have a good haul? Is that a rigid case?
It is rigid case. I got it today.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yes. I've
those.
needed a new transportation system for all my stuff for conventions.
You know, Simon told me, he was like, "Hey, yeah, get a rigid." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I mean, I got it, but it's cool. That's cool. That's cool." I noticed because of the orange.
Yeah, it's a little
around. Yeah, that's cool, man. Transport your stuff.
Oh yeah, because for a while I had like a big unused suitcase for all the prints that I would sell and the display prints and everything else, and then I'd have some boxes for the prints that I sell, and it was like multiple trips to the car, and I had to carry all of it instead of rolling it, and so it's just like
you didn't get a dolly?
No, well we didn't really have a dolly, and we just for a while just didn't feel like pulling the trigger on it, but we also met other artists that recommended this as well, and we just finally decided since it's my birthday next week, we're just like, let's just get it, so I got all my art stuff in the top one. I got my display and convention table stuff in the second one, and the bottom one's all the prints that we sell. So it's
wow, man.
Yeah,
you must have been turning out some good stuff, because I mean those aren't cheap.
I got a good deal on it actually.
Oh yeah,
like a really good deal.
Where'd you get yours? I know they're like Home Depot.
Home Depot's where I got it. They were having a sale.
Okay.
I think. Okay. Yeah, it was like 35% off.
Wow, 35% off for what?
For this.
No, but I mean, okay.
I guess like a New Year's sale. I guess. I mean,
that's cool. Damn, because those are expensive. But anyway, enough about the fucking talking about rigid case. They tune in. People are tuning in. Like, what the fuck are they talking about? like, yeah, that's a good deal.
Oh man.
Look, and we are in no way sponsored by Home Depot. I'll tell you that.
No, we're not. What's the term I'm looking for? We're not.
I'm not affiliated with them.
Not affiliated. You're not affiliated with me. Yeah, no, but yeah, no. You mentioned our haul. Like I got, holy cow. I got Spawn Compendium 1, Invincible Compendium 1.
Okay.
I got the hardcover deluxe edition of Tokyo Ghost from Sean Murphy.
Okay.
I also got the Rebel Moon novelization, which I'm about 3/4 through. And I also got, just trying to think of all those things.
The novelization or the comic?
Novelization.
Oh, okay.
What novelization?
The novelization. What's up, man? Welcome aboard. Welcome
what
aboard.
A
How
good shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was one of the first designs that Warner Brothers took down immediately. When I put that bitch up, they were like, "Nope, fuck you.
Yeah.
Of course they
Not
did.
today, sir.
I was like, nobody sells this shirt. You can't get this shirt anywhere. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it available. Boop. And it went.
Warner Brothers like, no, you're not.
DMCA.
It was gone.
That was it.
Oh man. And how was your New Year, Phil?
I laid in bed,
Hey,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
fair.
and then I went to the gym.
There you
That
go.
is fair. Sounds like a good day to me.
It
Yeah.
was great. Didn't go out, didn't get drunk, didn't have to worry about driving myself anywhere. It was fantastic.
Yeah. No,
It's
I'm
a
with
way
you
to
there.
do
We
it.
were pretty low key New Year's Eve as well. My wife got this like book for date ideas,
I didn't
and
ask.
one of them was. Shut up.
Oh, bird.
I'm kidding.
Anyway, I'm gonna tell you
Evidently,
anyway.
I'm kidding.
Anyway, she got this book of date ideas, and one of them was to make mocktails. So that's what we
Oh.
did New Year's Eve, was just make mocktails and drink sodas and stuff. So
Mocktails. What is that? Is that like
it's a cocktail
like
without
a Shirley,
alcohol.
Shirley Temple? Oh, there you go. Yeah. That's what I figured.
Yeah, so you got like a
I'll take
soda
the
base
chocolate
with
milk.
flavorings.
Hold the chocolate.
No, it's like you have like soda, like ginger ale bases, and then like different flavorings. You have pina colada.
You know,
flavoring
ginger ale
as well,
is just Sprite and Coke. That's all
Sprite
it is.
and Coke.
Yeah,
No,
mixed.
it's not.
Yeah, that's it. That's
No,
the
it's
ingredients.
not.
That's the
such
ingredients.
a lie.
You know,
I don't
fucking
believe
what do you call
you.
those stupid things that people love? Baja Blast.
Yeah.
That's only
I love
3
it.
ingredients: Powerade, Blue Powerade, Mountain Dew, and Sprite.
Hey, it's
Is that
still
right?
dang good though. Baja Blast
You-
is still dang good.
So yeah, one of my friends was like, "Yeah, you know, people who drink Baja Blast, they probably back in the day drank another drink called Surge." And
Yes, I loved Surge actually.
he's like, "Yeah, because it's all it is sugar." It's just
Yeah, when I
That's
was
funny.
like 13, I loved Surge.
Yeah.
Gosh, I remember when they discontinued it, and I was so disappointed. Man, I forgot.
what I
about
miss?
Surge.
I
What's
miss
that?
Mountain Dew Livewire.
Oh yeah.
The
Don't
orange
they have a
flavor.
red Mountain Dew?
Code Red.
Yep.
Yeah, Code Red. Yeah, I never tried it, but I know they had.
It's
And then
pretty
a
good.
blue, Big Red. Big Red made a Big Blue. I never tried that.
That sounds gross.
I
Yeah.
never tried it. It was like, nope.
That sounds like, I don't know. It just sounds weird.
You know what I miss? I miss Tab.
Tab,
I
ew.
forget how that tastes. That and Mellow Yellow.
I actually do like
Tab.
Mellow Yellow a lot.
Tab.
Tab was the
from
first
Back to
diet
the
soda.
Future. He's like, I'll take a Tab. He's like, I can't give you a Tab unless you buy something. But Tab was another soda back then. So it was.
Yeah, it was like the
man.
first diet soda, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I think it was before Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi.
News to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, no, it was-
Surge. So
I
hey, what's up,
had-
Kevin.
I had a Tab actually. I think it was 2 years ago. We found somebody was still selling them, and I tried
What's up,
it. And it was
Jason?
gross. What's up, Cortez? What's up,
what
everybody?
up? What up? What up? If Phil's
What
here,
is-
he came in. You're cheap. Who's
You're cheap. You are cheap.
Me? Hell
Yes.
yeah, I'm cheap. Fuck yeah, dude. You can't amass
know you so
any
well.
amount of wealth if you keep spending all your damn money. You got
True.
I know you
when
so
you buy
well.
shit, you gotta, man. You gotta be frugal.
I know you
Gotta
so
be
well.
frugal.
My
Yes.
dad always said that
Mr. Axel.
if you act like you never have money, you always will have money.
That's true.
So that's a good way to live. Good way to
Mhm.
be.
Just act like you're broke.
Exactly. Act like you're broke.
And if you don't
I broke.
participate in Christmas, you'll probably save about $5,000 per year.
Give or take.
Well, see, our
Yes.
family, what we
Yes.
do is we do Secret Santa, so it's just one person buying another person a gift, so it saves everybody money. That way we can still like give somebody a gift. And
Dude,
Huh?
do you guys remember what was Zima? That shit was like in and out. It was kind of like God, what was that other drink? Red Bull, which got replaced by Monster. No, not Monster. What
I never
replaced
liked
it?
Red Bull.
Celsius. Celsius replaced that shit. It's like they
Red
just
Bull never
given-
did much for me.
I don't
just-
drink that shit. I don't
it
drink any of that
tastes
shit. 'Cause
bitter.
If it does that kind of stuff to people, it's got to be bad. There's fuck that.
yeah,
Like the only soft drink I'll drink is right here is root beer. I'll
you
drink
go.
that. I gave
Root
up
beer's
Coke. I gave up Pepsi. Fuck that. Get that shit out of here. The reason why they're the most popular is probably because they have the worst fucking shit in them, and they're
Yeah.
cheap, cheaply made and all that. So Yeah,
I don't do Coke or Pepsi.
Just
can't
the
with
two
those.
giants. I'm like, there's got to be something wrong with y'all.
Dr. Pepper though, any day of the week.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper's a segue. It's sort of a.
Ever since I started going back to the gym, I just cut out soda entirely. Like
You should cut out soda entirely from your life. Yes.
Yeah.
Because that amount of sugar going into your body is not good for you, and your body doesn't know how to break down that much sugar.
Yeah.
So,
see, I went like
most
2
people
years
aren't
without
that
soda, and I felt so great. It did feel really good to not have soda for like 2 years.
and then when you drink it, it's like you're like, God, this is disgusting, right?
It's
like after you don't drink it for a while.
every serving. So
Actually, when I drank it for the first time in a while, I was like, holy crap. Like, dang. I loved it.
The devil's influence has taken Dawson to the form of Dr. Pepper.
It's a sweet one.
The wife is napping. I can't do that.
No, yes, you can. You look, if you're the man of the house, you definitely could. But since
You know what? I'm the man of the house. I respect my wife's wishes.
What?
Yeah.
No. This is. Hold up. Where is it?
Happy spouse, happy house.
I agree.
Exactly.
No, Dawson, you go to a different saying that you abide.
He agrees now.
Now, yes, because that is the way to go. God, what is it?
I've always agreed with that.
No, you used to promote the other one.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yes, there it is.
That's
Yeah,
the
this is
exact
it. This
freaking
is your
thing.
wife.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
When before she goes to bed, that's what she tells you.
Not even close. Oh man. Anyway,
That's what it's like to be in a controlling marriage, everybody. Not pointing at Dawson at all, but just saying that's what it's like to be in a controlling marriage.
I imagine it would be.
There should be a ball that is, just back and forth. You just throw it back and forth, not trying to hold on to it for yourself.
Equality.
So sort of power.
Indeed.
You
Equality.
think you have some sort of power over me?
Equality.
Well, you do not. You don't have power.
Oh man.
But
So-
guys,
Yes,
it's
there are men here.
2024. Holy freak. Doesn't weird anybody else out a little bit?
How? Why would that weird you out?
It weirds me out because I remember when I was in like middle school and they were saying, "Oh, you're that class of 2015." And I remember 2015 would be like it felt like it was so long in the future. Now it's like 9 years ago. That's why it feels weird to me.
Well, yeah, you're so young. You haven't gone. I mean, dude, I don't.
Ryan
get
might
it.
appreciate this. This is actually the 35th year of Batman 89, so that means it's a 35-year anniversary of Batmania.
That was, you know what? That was the first year. Batman 89 was the first year that they had a movie debut in theaters in the summer, and they released it in December. For the holidays and whatever. That was the first time that they got it on shelves that quick. And I picked up a
Damn.
copy, and I watched that thing until I ruined the tape.
As one does.
So
Yeah. So you
just
guys
because we
do.
had those rewinder machines.
Right.
Just,
Right. I remember those.
Yep.
I mean,
Because
half the
because
fun
my
of
parents used to get upset with me. They're like, "Hey, you're going to wear down the VCR, and we're not going to pay $300 and some odd dollars for a new VCR." So we bought an $50 rewinder, and
Yeah.
that we had to do that. And if you ever rented from like Blockbuster Video, you had to rewind the tapes.
Be
'Cause I used to work at Blockbuster Video.
Rewind.
Be kind, rewind.
Yep.
And we used to assess penalty charges and shit that we'd always waive.
Yeah. I mean, half the fun of watching movies on VHS was like watching it rewind, in my opinion.
Mm.
But that's just me.
I mean, I did it occasionally, but not all the time.
That's dumb. You're dumb.
Damn. Damn.
Yeah, it's okay. Ryan's looking for a chance to try to school me.
Oh, whatever. So anyway, are we gonna get down to the nitty gritty? Let's start with this topic.
Oh my gosh. This joke's like a year old.
I know.
So
We're gonna
freaking
let it
old.
I just.
go.
I guess the main
Is that an
news-
X-wing beanie?
Batman. Hold on.
It's like
Hold
a
on.
X stitched.
I thought it looked like X-wing. Oh,
There we go.
Nice.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
I can understand the X-Wing comparison.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
especially in that like small little picture.
Yeah.
But I guess there's a couple big news that came out, I guess, yesterday and today. The main news yesterday was MCU related, whereas Stephen Yeun or Yeun?
Stephen Yeun.
Stephen Yeun will not be playing the Sentry in the MCU's Thunderbolts movie. Which honestly, I think I told you guys in the text message group chat that I wasn't even sure that was like anything more than a rumor that he was going to in the first place.
That was never hard confirmed until Robert Kirkman like let it slip that, oh yeah, Stephen Yeun called me and said he's got a thing for putting on yellow and blue tights, and everyone was like, oh, so he is playing Sentry and Thunderbolts.
Whoa, yellow and oh yeah, that's right.
Because he's
no, that just means that he has more time for Invincible to continue.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I think about it. Like, it was scheduling conflicts that was listed as the reasoning. So, like, yeah, it just makes sense. He's working on Invincible. Fair enough.
What's up, RJ?
What is up? What is up? And RJ says,
"Rip haircut." What? They will eventually release it when it doesn't matter. Because right now,
it's gonna be one of those where it's released like 20 years
is on this new universe. What? Yeah, exactly. Like the Donner cut.
Try about 2 years from now, maybe for a 10-year anniversary.
It could be something as simple as that. They just, they're gonna release it, and it's probably gonna end up on like a streaming service because they're not gonna put any money into putting into a Fathom event or a theater or anything like that. It's just gonna be on streaming. So, but I do wholeheartedly think that at some point in time we'll see his version.
Yeah, at some point in time for sure. I have no doubt about that.
Not anytime soon.
Samuel, what's up? Have y'all seen the photo James Gunn shared of the new DC Studios executive team?
I sure did.
I thought I don't like that kind of wood, like glossy and shit. That's like it makes it look cheap as fuck. So yeah, lay off
the wood in the room,
the whole room, like the walls, the fucking the desk and all that.
You know what my biggest takeaway from that picture was?
Yeah,
Peter Safran looks like the next Toby Emmerich. I mean, seriously, he's got the most smug look on his face all the time. It's the same smug asshole smile every single time, and I'm just
where is it?
You're Toby Emmerich 2.0 as far as I'm concerned. Shit.
I mean, it's.
Do we have one?
I mean, most.
Is that the smirk?
Executives are pretty much the same.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, I'd say. Like for me. I saw that picture and like I had no strong feelings towards it. Not like anyone should, but like I just looked at it and nothing about that image of those creators, like no offense to them, none of that excited me. None of that made me think, oh, this person's involved. Amazing.
Ryan took one look at Christina Hodson and went, nope.
Exactly. She's a horrible writer. Like, I'm sorry, like throw her away for 10 years, let her write, understand how to write a fucking good, 3-act story.
I guess the question is like, what project is she going to like maybe
Why
tackle?
haven't they gotten rid of her? I don't know.
It's like because like Brave and the Bold is handled by Muschietti. They haven't announced a writer. She's not writing that because she's writing like the next Fast and Furious film or whatever.
Thank you.
Supergirl has a different writer that's not her. James Gunn wrote Superman Legacy, so that leaves Waller, Lanterns. Oh, you know what? I bet it is. It's probably the Amazon show.
That makes sense.
That's my guess. That is my guess. It's the Amazon show. Because there ain't no fucking way she's writing Booster Gold. No. That would be a shock if she was writing Booster Gold.
No. When you said it, she might write Waller.
I mean, I could see her penning a few episodes, possibly.
Yeah, but at the very most, I think.
I mean, look, right now, as far as the shit that we've seen from her, she's just not there for me. Her shit is weak as fuck.
And that's fair.
And look, writers just get better over time. She needs to try something else, go somewhere else, do some other type of.
She might even be doing a project that isn't even on the slate.
Yeah, go do Fast and Furious 12. 13, 14, 15, all those.
11. I think she's doing 11.
Whatever she's on now, add 5 more, and then see where she is as far as writing.
Yeah, she hasn't written anything that's like stood out to me personally. So it's like,
but guys, she wrote The Flash.
Oh,
that doesn't help at all.
Oh, well, she also wrote, didn't she? Who wrote fucking Birds of Prey? Was that her?
That was her. Yes.
Yeah, that was
See,
her.
oh, I know, but you like that.
I thought
I think that.
I thought she had there was a partner on that script. Let me double check that.
It could have been because she's really fucking wet behind the ears.
That might have been her first one. I honestly
See.
don't recall. Let's see. Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey.
Let's see.
Nope, it was all written by Christina Hodson.
Okay.
Okay, that answers that.
Yeah, gross.
And I like that movie more than The Flash, so what do I know, right?
But I think that there's a lot more charm in The Flash than there was in Birds of Prey.
To be fair, there was also a handful of other writers that did a bunch of drafts on The Flash.
I agree.
Yeah,
There's so she could pick pick and choose, like, hey, that was a pretty good idea. This was a pretty good idea. How much of it was her? It needs to be.
Yeah,
same.
I don't.
Hello, Anthony. Says Ayer's talking, his Ayer's talking like he's done for fighting for it and talking about it. I think it's done deal. I think what he did was he spoke with Gunn. Gunn was like, yeah, sure, we'll do it, but it's not now. So there's really no need for Ayer to like continue to pump and like,
I'm
hey,
so
look at this, and hey,
I don't
forget about me and all that, right? There's no need for him to continue to like try to strive for like relevance in that. I just think he was like, yeah, dude, I've seen it, I like it. We're gonna shelve it for now because I want my shit to fucking make sense and stand out, and I want people to back my shit, and then we'll release your stuff on the small screen. What's up, Ben? I say, you guys moved to Wendy permanently? We don't know, but just kind of we're keeping it loosey goosey. So I need you to pay attention every weekday around this time, and just to see if we're available. But anyway, yeah, we don't know. Oh, he said it twice.
I mean, we've been on Wednesdays for a hot minute.
Bumblebee was fucking E.T., dude. Bumblebee was E.T. rewritten for fucking modern time. That's all fucking Bumblebee is. Anything that happened on Cybertron wasn't her. So everything beyond that was Christina Hodson, and she bit right off of fucking E.T., dude.
Honestly,
that's all that is.
I watched Bumblebee, and then that was kind of it. It was a movie that I watched. I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was great. It was just a movie that I remember watching, and I'm just like, all right, cool. Same with Beast Wars. I was like, all right,
God.
Here we go.
That was bad, dude. Me and Andre saw that in theaters.
Yeah.
And the visual effects are great, but the story was basic and stupid, and it was dumb. It was just really dumb.
I watched like the first 2/3 of it at a friend's house, and we had to leave because it was getting late, and I had like no desire to really finish it. I mean, it was not the worst thing in the world, but it was like, nah.
And I say this as someone who grew up watching the Beast Wars show. You would think that that would grab that audience, and I watched the movie and I was just like, this.
Cheetor had like one fucking line.
Yeah, and it's like,
and he was like a standout in the show, and then Ratcatcher wasn't there.
The only highlight I can really think is having Ron Perlman as
that
Optimus
was
Primal.
The best. That was all they had for the Beast Wars. That's all they had.
And I was like, okay, this is cool, but this literally means SFA to me as a fan of Beast Wars. Like, you're just taking the older, the Transformers we all know, and then you're taking the Beast Wars, you're throwing them in a single movie, having them go up against Scourge, and then we're redoing fucking Unicron again?
Unicron
all right, whatever. It makes no fucking sense, but fine. Sure.
Yeah. There's nothing about that was inspired to me, and it just...
lack of inspiration. You're absolutely right, Dawson.
There you go. Thoughts on Paramount and Warner Brothers possible merger?
I thought it wasn't happening.
I don't think it's happening.
Isn't that the new word that Warner Brothers is more likely to declare bankruptcy than merge with somebody else at this point?
Fuck, who knows?
Yeah, but they're not going anywhere, even if they declare bankruptcy. They're just gonna get a bailout.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty accurate. It just doesn't reflect well on the company, but then again, companies have gone through worse and come out.
See, the problem, excuse me, the problem, Samuel, is for me, like, I'm not a fan or huge fan of what Michael Bay did. I liked what ILM did with the Transformers as far as like seeing how they can transform and shit.
Yeah.
Because that was great. It was very imaginative. I didn't really like a lot of the character design. But I understood it. I understood that they were like
over designed in certain respects. Like they over designed the shit out of Megatron.
I mean, Megatron got the worst of it. It was like, hey, look, he's turning into a weird fucking jet that makes no fucking sense.
Because he was a tank. He was originally a tank.
So G2.
Okay, you're right. Yes.
But even when he went in tank form in the movies, he looked fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you know, and so you ruin, and you get fucking Spock, and you have him play a different fucking character, and then you include Galvatron.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you guys fucking doing over there? And then
Yeah.
Michael Bay was like, they were gonna reboot it, and Michael Bay was like, no, don't reboot my shit. I'll come back and I'll give you the fucking Dinobots or some shit, and then we're just gonna keep this shit going. And fucking poor Bumblebee got his voice back in the first film, taken away again, and it's a gimmick that was used too
Over
much.
Yeah.
And then, you know, again in that movie Bumblebee, that they were like, hey, he's got a voiced by the guy from Teen Wolf, who played Styles, and then they, you know, you saw, oh, hey, he got his voice ripped off by this fucking, you know, lesser looking Starscream kind of guy, and yeah, it just wasn't. I don't know, man.
It was.
They need a, if any franchise needs a reboot, it's Transformers, and they need to like kind of go back and just kind of reimagine it. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? And let's get something a little bit more classic.
It needs the Turtles treatment. It needs an animated movie. 100%. It needs an animated movie set entirely on Cybertron.
Yes. And in Bumblebee, if they had just kept that going, like, I want to see the war. I want to see what's going on with them. You know, I want to see the dynamic, you know, as far as like, you know, the two factions on Cybertron for a minute, and then go to Earth, and then crash land away from civilization and not really have that much interaction in cities and shit. All they wanted to do, I mean, it was cheaper. Yes. You go make a deal with General Motors, you get them to fucking finance the movie because you're pimping their fucking rides, you know,
Right.
and all it did, a lot of Michael Bay's shit that he did. If you look at the Autobots, it just looks like a fucking automobile commercial. That's all it looks like. With helicopter flybys and all that shit. It looks like that to me.
I think in terms of overall quality, the first Bay film is probably the best one. I like the second one, but they did my boy Jetfire dirty.
Devastator, they did not do a good job.
You're right there too. I'm not really a big Devastator fan, but I can't disagree there. However, I do like that the second film had some semblance of stakes because they killed Optimus, but they managed to bring him back. That was kind of, you know, eluding the very first 86 animated movie. It's like, okay, I see what you're doing here.
Yeah.
Then after Dark of the Moon is when it really all goes downhill.
And every character almost like had to have a different accent. Like, wait, what a minute? What you have Earth accents from different countries.
To add to that,
what
in Last Night, why the fuck was Hot Rod French?
Oh, that's what I was alluding to. It's because Hot Rod is the successor of Optimus, but not in this universe because it made no sense. It was it was haphazard. I that's why I'm not thrilled with these movies. They're kind of like the Fast and the Furious for me, in that like I really, it was easy for me to lose interest quickly.
Yeah, and by the time they got to Age of Extinction with the Dinobots, again, they just over designed all the Dinobots. They went way too hard on the Tyrannosaurus Rex one, whatever that one's name is. I don't really remember all that well. Grimlock, thank you.
Yeah.
They over designed the shit out of him and made him look like Godzilla and a T-Rex had a kid.
Yeah.
In mechanical form, but Mecha Godzilla and a T-Rex. It was like this is too much.
And then they were having fucking Optimus ride him.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
That made no sense.
It didn't even look cool.
No,
because you got too many moving pieces and parts and shit. So it's like, where does Optimus end and he begin? And it just, and then Mark Wahlberg comes in and it's like, hey, what's going on, Optimus? Yeah,
how's it going?
Yeah,
say hi to your mother for me.
Yeah, say hi to your mother for me.
I produced Entourage.
In the next Transformers. Okay. Me and Will Ferrell, we got to do some other stuff over here. See,
you're a Transformer, huh? What's that all about?
What's that all about?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. You know what? I haven't seen this yet. I know Phil has seen it. Have you seen this?
I have not seen Aquaman yet. I've been traveling a lot.
So from what Artie is saying is this Aquaman is going to end up breaking even and getting a small profit. That's awesome for Aquaman because no one had any expectations on this particular movie here.
No,
Everybody was like, "This universe is dying. It's dead. This is the last movie. This is the closeout. Nobody gives a shit." But for it to be, from the people that have seen, that I actually listened to, have all liked it, even though it's not the greatest film. They're like, they still came out at some level of enjoyment.
Hold on. No, Anthony, Apple's going to buy Disney eventually. Neither one of Sony or WB. They're not at all interested in either of those. They want Disney because Tim Cook and Bob Iger have rapport with each other. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, Aquaman's fine. Aquaman The Lost Kingdom is a fine movie. I don't mean that in a damn go see it kind of way or damn don't bother watching it kind of way. I mean, when you have the time, check it out. It's a good sequel. It's got some sloppy parts to it. Its story is kind of all over the place. Jason Momoa's character development kind of takes a step back. But Yahya Abdul-Mateen as Black Manta is easily the highlight of the movie. He cements himself as one of the best villains, right up there with Michael Shannon's Zod, Ewan McGregor's Black Mask, and Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. Like he is a worthy villain in the DCEU, sorry. But yeah, it's a fine movie. Honestly, it's like kind of the opposite of the first film, where the first film had two strong first acts. The first and second act were really strong. The third act was kind of weak. This one was the opposite of that. The first and second act are kind of it takes a minute to get things going, but by the time the third act rolls around, it really pays off really well. The only thing I will say is once the credits start rolling, fucking get up and go, because the mid-credit scene is just not worth a damn. I'm dead serious.
Isn't that the one that was leaked?
Yes.
Oh,
they've all leaked.
I did see that.
Every last one of them have fucking leaked. But yes, it's a fine movie. It doesn't shock me. I did see that it's cracked like 258 million, I think, worldwide. And it's like, okay, cool. It's got the whole month of January. If Warner Brothers really wants to keep it in circulation for that long and see how much money they can milk it for, good for them.
Sure.
It might be an Elemental situation for them. Maybe not to the most profitable extent, but hey, if it
the only other
money,
film they have out right
them.
now is Wonka, right?
And The Color Purple.
Color Purple.
I think that's the name of the movie. I could be wrong about that.
No, it is. The Color
Okay,
Purple is definitely
okay.
yes. I have no interest in that because I didn't care about the original. It was like whatever.
I've never seen either, so
My mom watched the
frame of
first one,
reference, so
or the one that was released years ago, and I was just like, okay, that's an old lady movie. I don't want to watch it. So I was like,
a friend of mine saw Wonka. He said it was really, really good. So
yeah.
I
I've
want
heard
to
good things
see it.
about it, and I
hope
do
I
want to
will.
see it, but I want to see Aquaman more.
That's
You
fair.
know, I'm a huge Gene Wilder, fan. I love the old, 1970s.
71, I believe, is the
71.
first one. 71 or 78, one of the two. I don't remember.
It could be more 78 because I think
Might be
it came out
74.
after I was- all right.
You know what? We've got fucking Google in front of us. Hold on.
let's use our brains here.
Yeah.
We don't need
And
any
our
assistance.
technology.
Yes, his Wonka's doing very well, which is good.
What's interesting is that
1971. There we go.
71.
Okay, I was right the first time.
there you go.
Oh, that's
But,
okay.
The thing that's interesting to me is that, like, my wife pointed this out, is that because Wonka's a musical, basically.
Mhm.
And my wife was frustrated because the past several years, whenever a musical has been released, after Cats, like, blundered terribly, no musical is actually advertised, or the marketing teams have not advertised them as musicals. Like, none of them.
Yeah.
And there's no, like, singing, and so people go to the theaters, they're a little bit confused, especially with things like Wonka. That's the only negative thing that I've heard, and that's not even really a negative. That's just not something you're expecting.
Yeah.
But no musical movies are actually advertising themselves as, hey, we're a musical, come see us and enjoy that spectacle. And that, to me, that's just really weird, especially for people who really love musicals, right?
Yeah, it's like musicals peaked with Greatest Showman, and then once Cats happened, everyone was just like, yeah, nope, we're done.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well,
There's that one that came on Disney Plus, Lin-Manuel Miranda's one. I don't remember the name of it, but that one was apparently really
I'm
popular.
sorry. Every song that Lin-Manuel Miranda writes for movies sounds the exact same to me.
That's fair. I haven't seen it. I'm just going off of what I recall, but I could be wrong.
And that also applies to Hamilton, the musical Hamilton that he wrote. It's
that
a
might have been
fine
it.
musical,
That might have
but
been
every
it.
song sounds the same.
That might have been it. The Hamilton one on Disney Plus that came out during the pandemic.
Yep, that was it.
Okay, then yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, every single song sounds the same.
Yeah.
He just has a very specific style like I guess some people gravitate to, and that's great. But to me, I'm just like, I've heard this. It's like watching Moana, where every other song is just the same song.
Well, to be fair, every Tim Burton movie looks like a Tim Burton movie.
True, but that's different from music.
That's true. That's very true.
But anyway, you guys were saying about Aquaman, like it looks like it's going to be the only DCEU movie in this past year that's actually going to have some legs.
Legs, I don't know about legs, but it won't have a huge amount of negativity or hate attached to it.
It might swim above water.
It may tread lightly.
Tread lightly in dangerous waters.
Hello, Andrew. We're doing great. Thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
What's up, Andrew?
Yo, hey, did y'all see that? His
Joker
little
2 will probably not advertise the musical elements either. Probably not. Yeah. No, I doubt it.
Well, anyway, his avatar sort of reminded me of this thing. I know you love the Clone Wars. There's a thing that came out recently that was like Anakin and Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars, sort of motif. Yeah. And it's the whole last battle. And it's all in the style of the Clone Wars. So it looks pretty fucking cool because it's made by a fan.
Huh.
So
I think I've seen clips of that around.
I watched the whole thing. So it was from start to finish. It was verbatim almost, and a little bit of additional stuff in there.
Wait, you mean the final battle on the Death Star or the final battle?
No, the final battle on
Mustafar.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I saw clips of that, and it did look absolutely sick. And they did add some they added some additional choreography to the fight where Anakin drops his lightsaber and catches it with the other hand. Yeah, they added stuff like that.
They added some extra kicks, tripping, each other or whatever. It was pretty cool. I was like, oh wow, this is pretty intense for I mean, to watch it in the Clone Wars style, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, clearly
I'm a huge fan of the Clone Wars, not so much the Rebels or anything like that.
Yeah, so clearly someone had a lot of dedication and time on their hands.
Oh yeah, because I mean the backgrounds all look great. I mean, I was like, wow, where the hell has this been? This is awesome. They need to continue. I mean, right after Episode 3 came out,
Lucasfilm should hire them.
They should. Right after Episode 3 came out, I was like, oh man, George, you're getting really good at directing again. Let's fucking ramp it up. Let's do Episode 3.5. Let's just change A New Hope to Episode 7 or what, push it out a little bit. Give us some more Yeun and Hayden and all that kind of stuff or whatever. Just kind of like show us what happened with this guy. And a young Darth Vader, that would be awesome. But dude, we didn't get that. Because the fans were really shitty at that point in time. So he was just like, man, fuck y'all, I'm done.
Yeah, I would really like to see, and this is like the nitpicky Star Wars fan of me, I really want a dedicated series to Darth Vader in his time between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope.
And follow some of the storylines from the comics. I think.
Yeah, like if they adapted like an episode or two dedicated to Vader down and he delivers the line, the only thing I'm surrounded by is fear, and then he ignites his lightsaber and says dead men, I will cry. Because that is one of the greatest Darth Vader moments I've ever seen, and it's not even in a movie or an animated cartoon at all. Like, I really just want like a solo Darth Vader thing. And if Hayden Christensen's down to come back, be it animation,
because all he has to do is wear prosthetics,
right? And they I think James Earl Jones has said, I've given my blessing to use my voice as AI for Darth Vader going forward because I'm just getting too old for this.
Yes, cool. And you can definitely tell. As people get older, their voice gets a little bit more raspy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm shocked that that's the one thing they haven't done. We've seen Obi-Wan Kenobi now. We've seen Ahsoka get a series now. It's like, come on, do Darth Vader.
Yeah,
I think they're a little scared to do Darth Vader just simply because
you have to be very careful with how you would do that.
Yes. And we all know Disney just kind of likes to do their own thing with Star Wars sometimes. So you know what? We're gonna pass. We're just gonna do what we want and do our own little story.
I mean, a lot of the stuff that they did with him was pretty good, except for some of the things that they did, some of the liberties they took in Obi-Wan. I like, everybody, I don't care what you say. I think at the end of Rogue One, that Vader scene was fucking phenomenal.
That's the best thing about the movie.
Yeah, I mean, and that was an afterthought. It's kind of like I like Rogue One, but that scene right there felt to me like the Cybertron scene from Bumblebee, in that, you know, it was an afterthought. It wasn't planned. It wasn't scripted. It was just like, no, we need something here. And that made the whole experience better because of that one little instance.
Yeah.
And then what they did to top that, when they fucking did the young Luke Skywalker going through and killing all the Death Troopers, that was like, oh shit, you guys did the exact same thing, kind of, but with Luke. I was like, so you can give us a good Luke.
Yeah, it's
you know,
like
you
nice
just chose
symmetry.
not to.
Yeah, I don't know. Star Wars is we've gone on different rants.
Oh,
with Star
sure.
Wars.
Sure.
Star Wars is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Now
that's
it
point.
is.
Yeah.
That's always
now
been my
it is.
take on Star
And
Wars.
I'm sorry, but that whole thing, I saw some article that had something to do with the fucking either the director of whatever Rey Skywalker, Palpatine, or whatever is supposed to be in. She's like, yeah, you know, it's about time that, you know, a woman is in charge of writing this story full of women, or some I don't forgot what it was, but I was like,
she said something to the effect of, it's finally time a woman got to handle a Star Wars film. And that I understand the sentiment. I'm just like,
Patty Jenkins had it for a while.
show me a movie.
Yeah.
Just, you know, when the
Until
movie
she had
starts
created
filming,
difference.
then I will generate some level of look, I like Rey Skywalker. I'm not one of those people, but I'm just like, I need to see more of this story. Like, the general idea has me interested. It's Star Wars. I'm going to watch it. It's effectively episode 10, more or less, unless they decide to give it some, you know, subtitle or whatever. But yeah, like, I'm interested, but I need to see what they're doing. But you know, I understand what she was going for, but it's like,
yeah,
you already know that's
it.
going to rile up another certain sect of Star Wars fandom. You know that she didn't deliberately say it to do that, but you already know just her speaking that is just going to rile up that side of Star Wars fandom.
When it comes to Disney, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Well, not like in a maniacal or like mean way, but they probably. There's some people in that field that just don't care who they piss off, so they're just like, I'm just going to say what I want to say, and then boom, here you go.
Yeah,
and they're like,
I don't think it was just sort of like, I'm going to say this, but I don't care about the consequences. You know, I think they say it, and it's sort of, you know, sort of strategic. They want to be a little bit, I don't want to say edgy, but they want to be a little bit, what's a better word than that? Risque with some of the shit that they say to sort of,
because those debates is free market.
Ask for controversy, or ask for, you know, just to kind of get a little bit more eyes on it, you know, just to sort of like, you know, I mean, if it was just like, hey, I'm really happy to make a Star Wars movie, end quote, like, nobody gives a shit. But if you say something a little bit more, you know, colorful, then it's gonna get more attention and it's gonna have more legs, because it's that kind of comment. And I was like, come on.
I think between the 3 movies they have on the docket, between that one, the Mangold First Jedi one, and then Fione's wrap-up movie for the Mando story stuff, I think my level of interest probably goes the Mangold one, because I love James Mangold as a director, and I'm very curious to see how he does like the First Jedi and the, you know, the birth of that. That's a very interesting concept.
Sure.
Obviously the Mandoverse has its very, very highs and its lows, but obviously with Fione in the chair, I'm like, all right, you know, this is your first movie. You're gonna wrap this shit up. Okay.
You better ride that Rancor.
Yes. Better ride that Rancor, right? Like, ride that Rancor and ride it well. And then there's this one, which, you know, it has my interest, but it's like, okay, this is the first one out the gate. It's been a few years since The Rise of Skywalker. This will be like, I'm not going to say it's going to set the stage for what's to come, but it's definitely going to me, it feels like more of an appetizer for what is to come.
I think it's just they want to do something else with the actors that is willing to do it.
I think you're right, and I also think that this is an opportunity that they're trying to take, that they by they I mean Lucasfilm could not choose to not do with the original trilogy members back at
yes.
the day.
And I think also it is not going to be a saga film. Even though she calls herself Skywalker, I think that Disney is like, okay, Skywalker's done, it's dead. We took care of Kylo. Carrie Fisher's character's dead. Luke Skywalker's dead. All those characters are dead. You know, even Hayden, he's dead. we're just gonna have a Rey movie, and she can do her own thing, and it'll open up a new, whatever, because I mean that's all really Disney is doing. If and we've discussed this, is like they kind of shelve characters a little bit and sort of like push their characters like, hey, these are the ones we want you to care about, not these. These are legacy. We don't really care about those. They're here because they're still alive and they're willing to take a paycheck, but we want you to care about our characters because those are the ones that we can completely, copyright and say that we own, and those are ours. I think I agree with Phil in like my level of giving a shit. I think that the Mangold project is intriguing. Hopefully it comes to fruition. Hopefully we see it. I think that the Mando series or whatever, getting a movie with Moff. Well, no, not Moff Gideon. With Thrawn. I think that'll be interesting. Hopefully that actor can hit the gym with Phil and get on the treadmill.
Wow.
At least that, or have a better fucking seamstress come over and give him a better costume that doesn't make him look ridiculous. Or wear a fucking girdle. And because actors do that. And then the Rey Skywalker thing is like, okay, what are you gonna do with it? The other ones I are more interested in. I want to see more of it. I like Ahsoka. I like Ahsoka more than I like Rey Skywalker. I just that's me.
I feel like that's a pretty popular opinion.
Yeah, I mean, because look, number one, she didn't earn shit. She like I said, she from the get-go, from the jump, she kind of failed her way into like success. But didn't really fail. If you get my, she never had to learn from anything. Like, oh shit,
she failed upwards.
She failed upwards, and that's not compelling. That's not going to draw your viewer in, and like, oh wow, I'm on this journey with this character, and I'm going through the struggle. There's no fucking struggle because it all comes too naturally and too easy for you because you're related to Mr. Palpatine.
Palpatine.
Yeah, old Palpy Palp.
Grandpappy Palpatine.
Grandpappy.
Grandpalpatine.
But yeah, that's sort of my take on that. What are your most anticipated movies of 2024?
Oh, we're jumping right into that.
Yeah, we can do that. Hold on, let me pull up 2024 movie releases right here, so I have like a full
Palpatina.
list.
Palpatina.
Palpatina. Oh, gosh. Okay. For me, I'm really looking forward to Rebel Moon Part 2 and the director's cut of Rebel Moon
I
Part
didn't
1.
see that on anybody's sequel list. Like I was, as far as like people putting out sequel lists for like Dune 2 and all this other shit that's coming out or whatever. So many. I was like looking for Rebel Moon 2. Didn't see it on anybody's list. So
okay, well, it's on mine. So
I know it's on yours because okay, yeah, you got to go on set. So I know that's very high on the list for you. Go ahead.
Okay,
number 2,
Rebel Moon Part 2. All right, Dune Part 2. Dune Part 2 is very high for me.
Too sci-fi.
Really looking forward to that. I'm intrigued by Joker 2. Very skeptical, but intrigued. I love the first one. And I think that it has potential to be something very interesting. Deadpool 3, of course. I'm excited for that, as anyone with a pulse is. If it actually stays on schedule, The Crow.
With Jason Momoa?
No.
Bill
Skarsgård. Who's doing it?
Bill Skarsgård.
Skarsgård. Oh.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So,
okay, yeah, because I know Momoa was attached to it for a minute.
Yeah, he was.
And he would have made a good Crow. He would have done a good job.
I agree completely.
But no more. And then there's also Gladiator 2.
Yep.
Which, like, of all movies out there, I feel like Gladiator doesn't need a sequel. But if they felt like they needed to, then I'm curious to see what that story they felt like they needed to tell was.
Yeah.
If Ridley Scott has a story for Gladiator 2, let him make it.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I think about it, too. Trying to see what else that's coming out. Like,
I thought you had a list.
Well, I said I was pulling up the releases of this year.
Oh.
Furiosa, I guess, is another one that I'm excited for.
Yeah, that one looks great.
Furiosa looks very, very interesting. Plus, again, Mad Max is always a great time.
I should probably pull up a list too. I know off the top of my head what I'm excited for, but I have to look at an actual list.
I mean, everything else in this, like,
Yeah.
when I look up 2024 releases, like, yeah, I have to leave it at that because everything else I'm just like, don't really care. That's somewhat intriguing, I guess, but not enough for me to care. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, I guess Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
What, Frozen Empire? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
I'd be interested to
Frozen
see
Empire.
that. And then, I guess Godzilla Kong, New Empire, I think is what that's called, right? The New
Yes.
Empire.
Yes, Godzilla X Kong New Empire.
A lot of action stuff on my
Fall
list.
Guy actually looks pretty good. What did I see that in front of? I saw it might have been in front of Aquaman. Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling looks good. I like
I haven't
that.
seen
Emily
anything
Blunt.
for that.
Check out the trailer. You might get a kick out of it.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you anything about it because it's a little too complicated. Bong Joon-ho's movie, Mickey 19 with Robert Pattinson. That one has my interest.
Ooh.
Well, obviously, I think my first and foremost, most anticipated movie of 2024 is without a shadow of a doubt, probably Deadpool 3.
That's fair. Fair.
Probably followed by either Rebel Moon Part 2 or Godzilla vs. Kong.
Also fair.
I'm going to, after that, say Beekeeper, which comes out in a few weeks. I have absolutely zero desire to watch Matthew Vaughn's Argyle, even though Henry Cavill's in it. I just don't. Matthew Vaughn and me just, nope. We don't gel well.
Plus, also that wig for Henry Cavill looks so bad.
Looks bad. Doesn't look great. Not great. Actually, surprisingly enough, I'm actually very curious and intrigued by Madam Web. There for the plot, i.e., Sydney Sweeney.
Oh my gosh.
I do want to see that. Yeah.
In all seriousness, I am actually very intrigued by that film because it's basically like Terminator meets Final Destination with Madam Web and Spider-Man. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll watch it. And
Okay.
you know, I think we even might have talked about it on last week's show. Fucking people are like, man, this movie doesn't look great, and it's just like, well, what the fuck were you expecting from Madam Web? Were you expecting an old woman shuttering her clairvoyance, sitting behind a chair for fucking an hour and a half?
Plus, also, isn't there multiple versions of Madam Web?
Yes, there's two actually. So there's the one that's the traditional one from the comics that's blind and sits in the chair and looks at the web of the multiverse.
Mm.
Then she gifted her powers to Julia Carpenter, who is in this movie, played by Sydney Sweeney. I'm
Okay.
talking the comics version. She's the new Madam Web. Julia Carpenter is the new Madam Web. She wears an all-red jacket. She's got red glasses just to accompany her red hair, and she's the new Madam Web. And I feel like this movie is taking elements of both versions of Madam Web and kind of putting them into one, so that way they can justify also having two different Spider-Womans and Arachne in this as well, on top of Ezekiel Sims. So, you know, I'm there for it. Joker Folie à Deux, yeah, I'm probably gonna watch it. Am I like excited for it, over the moon for it? I can't really say that yet because we haven't seen anything from it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just say a 50-50 mild mid, maybe.
I mean, if they maintain any of the quality from the first movie, then it'll have my attention. But like,
yeah,
if it just decides to be like, well, we're just gonna do a bunch of ridiculous stuff just because we were asked to make a movie, so we're just gonna do it.
Todd Phillips is either gonna deliver something great in a sequel, or he's gonna pull another Hangover.
Mm,
In that sense, if you understand what I'm getting at.
yeah.
I would also say, surprisingly enough, actually, Kraven the Hunter actually has my interest too.
Didn't they also cancel that other Spider-Man spinoff? Like, was it La Muerta or something like that?
El Muerto, yes.
El Muerto, yeah.
Yeah, Bad Bunny dropped out. And that project has effectively been shelved. I have no fucking desire to see the Mean Girls remake, reboot, whatever the fuck it is. That no.
Well,
I like the first movie just fine, but that was just completely unnecessary.
That's another thing that my wife's talking about, that's actually an adaptation
it's a
of the Mean Girls musical. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not even like really a sequel.
Yeah. I don't
It's
care.
a squeakquel because they're gonna be singing.
Also,
Makes
Alien
sense.
Romulus comes out this year too.
Oh, really? Have
That-
they even
that-
started filming for that?
That finished filming last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think either right before or right after the strikes happened, they finished filming it. So yeah, it's supposed to be due out this year. The date for that one is, let's see, Alien Romulus, August 16th. Oh wow! So it's going to go up against Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, that's going to destroy Kraven the Hunter.
As much as yeah, that's going to be a fun weekend, really. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, because like you talk about an Alien movie going up against a Sony spin-off Spider-Man villain movie that hasn't, like, the history of that isn't necessarily great outside of Venom, right?
I mean, Kraven has J.C. Chandor in the director's chair, and it's finally got an R rating. I mean, I could see it having potential in terms of like being a solid film from them, but in terms of like overall box office success, given the fact that it's going to go up against Alien Romulus, and even just looking at the premise, apparently Alien Romulus takes place between the events of Alien and Aliens, and they brought the same team from Aliens, the James Cameron film. The same people who built the Xenomorphs actually came on and built ours. So it's going to take place in between the first and second film. So it's kind of like a pre-sequel.
So they're just not
sequel, prequel, whatever way you want to say it, depending on your preference, I guess.
So they're just not going forward with that whole Prometheus setup storyline.
No, doesn't look like it.
Huh. Well, that's
which I can take or leave, because like I liked Prometheus a lot. Covenant left a lot to be desired.
Mm-hmm.
This, on the other hand, I'm like, okay, if you're gonna set a movie in between Alien and Aliens, you have my attention.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I'm down with that. I mean, again, I always love the Alien franchise, so
it looks like principal photography took place in Budapest from March 9th to July 3rd, 2023. So they've literally finished filming that movie right before the actor strike kicked in.
Jeez.
Yeah. Wild. Time. That is wild to me. Imaginary actually looks like kind of a poltergeisty kind of movie. I'm kind of curious about it. I don't know if I'll go see Garfield. Actually,
I have no desire to see that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see it. I don't think I'll go to the movies to see it though. But I do want to see
that. Beetlejuice 2, actually, I'll see that. And Ghostbusters, of course, I'll watch that because I really liked Afterlife. Other than that, though, like I mentioned, Mickey 19 from Bong Joon-ho, that looks good.
You guys gonna see that Mickey Mouse horror movie?
I might. I just might.
Yeah, because it's public domain now. So
I love how as soon as that was announced as public domain, they're like, yeah, we're making this.
Yeah. And Dune Part 2, obviously, for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Striking when the iron's hot.
And then in November, Venom 3, which I've seen the first two in theaters. I may as well watch the third one in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. Venom 3. Have they been actually filming that?
They just went back to filming it a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Kraven the Hunter comes out August 30th. Okay. So there's a 2-week gap between Alien Romulus and Kraven. So.
Okay. Yes, that's not quite competition then.
Not really. No. That If movie, directed by Jonathan Krasinski, I think is in.
If movie?
Yeah.
It's like a young girl. Let me just read the. If is an upcoming American live-action animated fantasy comedy film written, directed, and co-produced by John Krasinski. The premise is a young girl named Bee gains the ability to see people's imaginary friends, referred to as Ifs for short, who have been abandoned by the kids they helped. Bee then discovers that her neighbor, the man upstairs, has the same ability. Okay.
Yeah.
I see imaginary people.
Pretty much. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Oh, hey. The 2D animated movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. I'm going to watch that.
No, I want to see Acme versus Coyote.
Oh, I want to see that too.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, if you're going back to 2D animation with the Looney Tunes and you're making it a fucking movie, I'm going to watch that.
Oh, yeah. Like, Looney Tunes is like a gem. You can still watch the old ones, and they're funny as ever.
Oh, they're
the only thing now is I'm sure that they won't use, like, guns and rifles. And that shit's fucking funny. It's fucking funny. Like, I loved it when like Elmer Fudd would shoot off, Daffy's bill, and we just spun around his head and all that. It's funny.
Oh, that's classic.
It's classic.
Or when Coyote would, inevitably screw himself with a stick of dynamite and blow himself up trying to get the Roadrunner.
He did what to himself? I'm sorry. I'm a child.
You are the youngest one of us.
You are.
And surprisingly, I make the least amount of inappropriate jokes.
This is true.
That's
So it's
just 'cause
rare
you're
when
not
you do
that
it.
witty.
Oh,
Huh?
oh, shots fired.
I didn't even hear what he said. So
That's because you got old person ears. What is this? Alien Romulus. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I
Yeah.
spoke about that. Gambit movie.
Oh yeah,
What's his
Channing
name?
Tatum.
Is
Channing Tatum's failed Gambit movie. Yeah.
Oh my god.
how many times did they try to
Hilarious.
get that off the ground?
More times than I can count.
And Channing Tatum's not even acting right now.
I don't think so. No. Yeah, no, that sounds about right. I don't think he's doing anything on the acting side. I could be wrong
Yeah.
about that, but as far as I know, he's not in anything.
Yeah, I think he had like sort of taken a break from acting for a while or something like that. I don't even know.
Some
Wow.
scooper to put out the rumor that he was supposed to play Gambit in Deadpool 3. I don't see that happening,
No,
Yeah, I don't.
like, at all.
it's not that
That's
big of a
another-
deal.
Right.
That's
Like I
another
think
one of those
Nick Cage
things,
as Superman is more popular than that.
I don't see that happening. And honestly, I even kind of like the guy they got for Gambit and X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
love him.
the guy that looked like Johnny Depp.
Emil Hirsch, I believe is who it is.
Yeah, John Carter.
Yeah, John
Yeah.
Carter. That's right.
I love him as
Absolutely
John
right.
Carter. That's another great movie that got so screwed over by the marketing campaign.
It did. Really did. It's probably Disney's most unfortunate loss, in my humble opinion.
And they did it to themselves.
They did, just like Lone Ranger.
Yep. That's also
Lone Ranger
very
was
true.
okay. I didn't like
My
Johnny
wife
Depp
loved
in
it.
that one.
I don't like Johnny Depp in much of anything.
I just did. I liked what's his name that played Lone
Army
Ranger?
Hammer?
Army Hammer.
Yeah, before he ate everybody.
Yeah.
I did like him as Lone Ranger.
You have to clarify. Before he ate people.
Before he was
Or
eating
he
people.
started eating people. Right.
Well, before we knew. We were probably eating people
Yeah.
at that time.
True.
I mean, you're not just gonna like, hey, you know what? I'd like a change in my diet. I'm gonna let the world know.
Well, I mean, if you're in Hollywood, then maybe.
Yeah, but I think you kind of get introduced and you start doing that and you think it's okay, and then you mention somebody else and it's like, oh yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's don't do that, buddy.
Yeah,
Nope. Don't do that.
It's not a good idea.
Not at all. That is very unhuman-like, eating people.
yeah.
Get it? Because it's human.
Yes.
It's inhumane.
Inhumane. There we go.
Oh my goodness. So okay, I still haven't heard your guys' takes on Rebel Moon yet.
Yeah, well, all you have to do is watch last week's show.
Yeah.
We'll see. I was busy, and I just want to hear from you guys.
we went pretty in depth, I thought.
Yeah, for the most part, I think so.
Yeah. So
Okay.
moving on.
So you don't want to talk to me about it? I see how it is. It's for you guys.
Oh, I mean, it's your time to shine,
Yeah.
Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So first and foremost, I really enjoyed Rebel Moon. Shocker. I really enjoyed it a lot.
You have to say that.
So
I
let me ask you
would
this:
if you went the set and you were like, you know what, just wasn't that good. Like,
So-
fuck you, dude.
was anything that you saw shot in part one?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, learning. Yeah, there was nothing that I saw in part one that I was there to witness shooting for,
So that means you were probably there when they were shooting part two.
which is why I still can't say anything about the set visit specifically until part two comes out.
That makes sense.
Which sucks. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed the movie. It's not a perfect movie, especially the direct or the theatrical, or whatever it's called, the Netflix release, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely gotten an unfair rap from a lot of people. I think I've seen so many people saying it's the worst thing they've ever seen, which if that's the case, if they're saying that, I really question the amount of movies they've actually watched in their life.
You can't say that
Um,
because it's beautifully shot.
Yeah, you just can't say that.
It's ridiculous.
There were some things that were underdeveloped, but as I'm reading through the novelization, like I see that in the director's cut, it's gonna get developed. Like Jimmy's got more time. You got more about Private Eris, the young soldier that helped out Cora and Sam in the beginning. You get a lot about him, actually. He's actually becoming a character in the director's cut. Then you got some extra background story, and there's a lot more flashback scenes as we're seeing in the novelization than there is in the PG-13 version. So that's going to be really exciting, at least for me personally.
I think there's supposed to be a lot of sex. Can you still watch it if there's a lot of gratuitous sex?
I know where it's going to be, and so I can skip it.
You shield your eyes.
All right. Anyway. But yeah, no, I'm very excited for that director's cut because I think it'll shut a lot of people up. Because honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if releasing this PG-13 version was kind of an experiment from Zach, just to kind of like,
Netflix.
Yeah, and Netflix, just to kind of, and also toying with like the idea of director's cuts, because I mean, obviously that's kind of Zack Snyder's thing right now is the idea of director's cuts and how they improve on the film that was originally seen. And I think I loved seeing all the technology in the movie. I loved seeing all the alien creatures because there was a lot of things there that were familiar, and I loved seeing people figure out about the slag, which is the ammunition for the guns, because I've known that for a while, and so it's cool to see other people kind of figure that out and see how that works. And I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, again, just underdeveloped characters.
Just reminded me of like the aliens, like the stuff that they would spit. You know, the
acid.
Mm-hmm. That's what it reminded me of. It was just like
okay,
but it was cool.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely worked, and I guess overall it just gets really too much crap from people. Again, is it a perfect movie? No, but it's an exciting look into a new cinematic universe that I think is going to be really, really cool to expand on with, again, the director's cut as well as part 2 and the director's cut of part 2. And I think what ticks me off is that people were like, oh, well, like, it's just getting the team together. That's what it was advertised as. Then people saying like, oh, it's a lot of Samurai 7 or 7 Samurai in Star Wars. It's like Zack Snyder literally said that's what it was. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what's surprising to you people about that when from the horse's mouth, he said, this is kind of what it is. And they're like, oh, see, like, it's not this whole original thing that he said. It's like, did he say it was like fully original concept? No, he didn't. He never said that. Anyway, I really enjoyed the movie, and I know a lot of people enjoyed it too, and I know a lot of people didn't enjoy it, and that's each their own. But overall, again, I'm really invested into seeing what the universe turns into.
So, what would you rank it out of 10?
Out of 10, I'd give it about
just for this cut.
Yeah, this cut about a 7 or 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. That's kind of where I was at a 7. I forgot what Andre said. It was probably like a 4 or 3, something. Like, it was really, really.
I gave it 4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think he gave it an 8.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Andre did give it an 8.
Yeah. So I really liked it, and then I think we see Kevin here says the question is, will releasing the R-rated cuts after the second part is released hurt the views because how many people are going to go back and rewatch both parts after knowing how it all ends? Well, you know that a lot of people are going to go and hate watch it because they're like, oh, the director's cut came out. Let's see how much worse this one is, and then they'll watch it.
But as far as general audience, I think the only way that a lot of the general audience, not the haters, but a lot of the general audience, not the Snyder, fans that just like anything he does, we're going to watch or we're going to run back to the, and watch. The general pop that has already seen this movie and sort of digested it over that holiday weekend, I think the only way that they'll watch it is if it has good word of mouth. By other people, like, this is amazing, you have to go see it, whatever. Because a lot of people won't. They've ingested whatever, and that's as far as they're willing to go, unless there's absolutely nothing else to watch. They're bored as shit, and there's there's a pandemic or some shit that happens again, and they're just like, oh no, we got to stay in the house. We'll watch this new version. But I think that yes, you will get your hate watchers. And yes, 100%. We'll get your fans that just absolutely love it and are just like, yo, I got to see this or whatever. So you'll get those two people or those two types. And then the general audience, again, the only way you can get them to watch it again is to sort of twofold. Number one, it won't be available when 2 comes out, right? It comes out after. So the R-rated comes out after part 2 comes out.
Yeah, I think that's what Zach said. Yeah.
Yeah,
man, that's not smart.
They're aiming for part 1 R-rated version sometime in the summer, and then I would imagine
R-rated version of Part 2 comes out in the fall or winter.
So if they were, and this is just my strategy, if I were releasing it, I would release Part 1 and then the R-rated version, and then Part 2 and the R-rated version, so that way Part 1 can get a second glance before Part 2 comes out. Because usually, like if you go watch or look at Netflix or Amazon or whatever, you'll see Aquaman, the first movie, is fucking out, for you to watch. It's on the front page, splash page, because they want you to watch it. It's, number 1, 2, or 3 or whatever on the fucking list. It's because whenever a new movie comes out, they always put the old movies up because people just kind of like want to get caught up or whatever. And it's like, that's when you fucking, you release that R-rated version or whatever right before Part 2 is coming out, so that people are like, oh, well, let me go watch it. Well, which version should I watch? Well, I'll watch this one that was, unaltered or whatever, and I'll watch that one, and then I'll watch, I don't know. I'm not on board with how they released it, and I think I made that clear last week when we spoke about it in length. I don't think that this was the absolute best way. I think this is the only way that you're going to keep Rebel Moon sort of in people's mouths for longer, as far as like, talking.
Sure. As far as the release order, like I totally understand you there. I think releasing the director's cut of Part 1 after Part 2 comes out is a weird move. However, I will say after reading through most of the novelization of Part 1, it makes more sense to me why they did the PG-13 version and then later the R-rated cut. It makes a lot more sense to me. Just because the way the novelization and I guess the R-rated cut's going to be, it's going to be a much longer movie. It's going to have a lot more stuff to it. And it's also going to be a lot more mature. And Netflix, of course, wanted it to be accessible to all ages, which is weird to me because Netflix has released a lot of mature content before strictly by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this thing came out on your holiday weekend, right?
Right.
And so like Andre had made one good point, I guess this was his last good point of 2023, was that he said that, you have your whole family there or whatever, and you want to watch something, put that on, and then if we have the R-rated version, they're going to stop it. Like, oh, hey, this is way too much, or they're too intense for the kids, versus this version, which is like, oh, okay, no, we can just kind of have it playing in the background, and we don't have to worry about anything so much, I guess. Parental discretion advised.
Yeah, and as far as like Part 1, like I'll describe Part 1 as the bare bones version of Rebel Moon that gets you to know enough of the story to understand what's going on. Bare bones. That's as much as I describe that PG-13 version.
Okay.
And so again, if people want to understand the story and like don't really feel like watching a ton or long runtime, they can watch the first version, get the basics of it, get the basics of the world around it, and then watch the regular version of Part 2. And then again, if they want to dive back into more and get more content and a little bit more backstory, if they're curious about things, watch the director's cut. So again, it just makes a little bit more sense to me, but it's still just an odd approach that I don't really quite understand yet. But I think it's starting to make more sense to me. But anyway.
All right.
Yeah, that.
I second it, sir.
I second that. Most of it.
So, guys, my most anticipated list of 2024.
Oh, yeah.
Is coming out. I don't have them in any special order because, there's just too much coming out. But yes, I'm interested in Gladiator 2. I'd have to see a synopsis or a some trailer to gauge my interest. Right now, it's not that high. Madam Web, I do want to watch. I'm interested in it. I thought that was a pretty tight trailer. It wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't the worst. Beyond the Spider-Verse, I want to see that.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's coming. Wait, is that coming out this year?
I don't know.
Which one?
It's in post-production.
Which one?
Beyond the Spider-Verse.
No, I doubt it's coming out this year.
Okay. If it does, then that will make my list. Sonic 3, I want to see that. I like the other two.
You know what? You're right. That's one I totally forgot about. Sonic 3 with Shadow. That's going to be fucking bonkers. And I'm here for it.
I will watch Venom 3. Beetlejuice 2. I'm interested, but I still have to see something. It's awesome that you get your, a lot of the old cast back, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have a banger. It might just be silly. Okay. Mufasa. I do want to see that.
What?
They're making a Mufasa movie. Yeah.
I want to see that. I'm not completely fucking sold on it, but what I am sold on is fucking Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I want to see that.
Oh yeah.
I saw a trailer.
Thank you.
I
I
saw a
forgot
trailer
about
when I
that
saw
one too.
Godzilla, and I was like, "Oh shit, no, this looks pretty good."
Great.
Who's directing that one?
Wes Ball.
Oh, okay, there you go.
He's on duty for Legend of Zelda as well.
Oh,
okay. Interesting.
Okay.
So it'd be a nice little audition for him.
I don't know if this comes out in the theaters, but I am interested in the Lord of the Rings War of the Rohirrim.
Don't care.
Let's see.
I don't care about that.
Okay.
I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan.
Oh, I am. I'm not a fan of the television show on Amazon. That was stupid.
Rings of Power.
Yes, that was not good. I didn't like it. I like pieces of it, but not a lot.
That show spit in the face of so much of Tolkien's lore.
I'll watch Craven, but maybe not at the theater. Ghostbusters, fuck yeah, I'm watching in the theater. Dune Part 2, yes. I will not be seeing Bad Boys 4. Don't give a shit. Coyote versus Acme. Let's see.
Did they say who's distributing that now?
I think it's Warner Brothers still, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Should still be Warner Brothers.
I thought they were shopping it around, but okay.
It doesn't say. It doesn't give the studio, but it has John Cena in it.
Yeah, and Will Forte.
Will Forte, yeah.
And what?
John Cena and Will Forte are in Acme versus Coyote.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less.
Another
Peacemaker
one.
must have really rubbed you the wrong way.
Oh, I just I couldn't.
I watched that movie Cockblockers the other night, and I was just like, I don't care.
Oh yeah, Cena's the main lead in that. That's right.
Yes, and it wasn't good. It was not good. I don't care about Knives Out 3. Who gives a fuck?
He's releasing that this year?
It says
really?
It says announced.
Huh.
So they haven't shot anything yet. It's in pre-production. But it doesn't take that long. Garfield, like I said, I want to see it, but I'm not, And A Quiet Place.
Part 3?
It says A Quiet Place Day 1.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I do want to see that. Godzilla X Kong.
Like
and I'm interested in Deadpool 3, but I have to watch Deadpool 2 first before I watch Deadpool 3.
Oh. Yeah, you probably should.
Yeah. So that's
Brolin makes a really great Cable in that.
He would have made a fucking fantastic Batman. And his dad would have been a fantastic Batman.
I'm not quite sure how I feel about Josh Brolin as Batman.
As an older Batman?
Yeah, I don't know.
If I were to cast the Dark Knight, I would seriously consider him, man. I think he would be pretty good. But like I said, in like the 80s, if you cast his dad as fucking Batman, that would have been pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because he was I think he's taller than Josh. But yeah, I don't know anything about Fall Guy. I'm not interested too much in If. Don't give a shit about Inside Out 2.
Yeah, the first one's charming, but I don't know if I'm going to see the second one.
Just not. Mortal Kombat 2, I have to see more.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely down for that.
Maleficent 3 couldn't give a shit.
They're doing
Maleficent 3?
They're doing a third one? Oh my god.
Yeah, they're in pre-production.
Why?
Angelina Jolie's reprising a role.
I don't know why, but all right.
Nosferatu, have to see what that's about. It's got
Robert Eggers.
Yeah. And
Robert Eggers is doing Nosferatu?
And Willem Dafoe is going to I'm sure he's the Nosferatu.
Robert Eggers is going to kill that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's another one I forgot about.
Definitely interested. Hellboy the Crooked Man.
That's animated, if I'm not mistaken.
But
that's a good call. For Hellboy, that's a good call.
Let's see.
Yeah, when all else fails in live action, go animated.
Yeah.
Hellboy learned that the fucking hard way.
Yeah.
Because what was the last one called? Something Blood Queen or some shit like that?
Wasn't it just called Hellboy?
Oh, you know what? It might have just been called Hellboy.
So I want to see Berserker with Keanu Reeves.
Oh, that's right. He's doing a live action version of that.
Let's see.
That should be cool.
Wait, he's doing a live action version of his comic?
Yes.
Yes.
Dude. Okay, I'm down for that. I didn't know that was happening.
It really helps when you executive produce.
One thing that made me laugh when you were reading was Twisters.
That's right. They're doing a sequel to Twister. I forgot about that.
No.
Yeah,
they are.
Why? So
Because
many.
it's Hollywood. They're all about sequels.
yeah. The Alien
remakes.
prequel, I'm interested. Wolves, I think is stupid. I don't. It has Brad Pitt and George Clooney. I know that is Dawson's favorite Batman, but I'm not really interested in that. He's pointing up.
Take a good hard look.
Let's see what else is there. Dipper-dipper-doo. What is this? No. Final Destination 6 could give a shit.
Oh wow.
Metal Gear Solid.
What?
Oscar Isaac is in Metal Gear Solid.
There ain't no way that's happening. There ain't no fucking way. They
It's
haven't
on
even filmed
IMDb.
anything. They haven't filmed anything, so I don't see how that could be
It's
even.
pre-production.
That could mean anything. It could be in
It
pre-production.
doesn't have to be released this year, but it's in pre-production.
To be fair, that movie's been in pre-production hell for a long time.
Yeah, that's not coming out this year. A movie like Metal Gear Solid, if it hasn't even started filming yet, it's not coming out this year.
Let's see. The Wolfman.
Who's behind that one?
Christopher Abbott. And the director is Lee Whannell. Lee Whannell.
Oh, Lee Whannell did Invisible Man.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? And that was another thing. Okay, so hot take. I'm sure people disagree, but I rewatched the Benicio del Toro Wolfman a couple nights ago.
Yeah.
And other than the final battle with his dad, played by Anthony Hopkins, I didn't have any problem with the movie. I was like, why didn't this
I
get
haven't
well
seen that one.
received? It wasn't horrible. The wolf design was actually pretty fucking cool. The only problem that I had was the battle at the end between he and Anthony Hopkins. It looked kind of ridiculous, but I was like, other than that, I was like, Hugo Weaving was in it, and I don't know, it just wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. I was like, it didn't deserve that much scrutiny.
Wasn't it going to be part of that Dark universe, or was that before? That was all.
No, that was before.
before.
The first one in the Dark universe was supposed to be Tom Cruise's Mummy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
With Sofia Boutella.
Yes. And I think that's her other claim to fame. Is that movie, because I don't remember her being in any other film.
She was in Atomic Blonde.
Yep.
And she was also, wasn't she Madonna's background dancer, or somebody's background dancer?
That's okay. I mean,
something like that.
Wesley Snipes was Michael Jackson's. That's a whole lot.
Was really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes, he started out as a dancer before he got into fight choreography and all that. No, that is not happening. That's funny. What else is there? I don't see anything else. Legally Blonde 3. No.
We're doing a third one?
Doing a third one.
All right. I guess.
Reese Witherspoon reprising her role.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Like the daughter.
I don't know.
It
Don't
probably
care
will
about
be.
any of these other films, and some of these I've never heard of. So, here you go. You might like this. Charlize Theron is going to be in Atomic Blonde 2. Let's see.
Interesting.
That's not going to happen.
Oh, shit.
Okay, I'm just going to say that's it. So yeah, those are the ones that I'm excited for and not so excited for.
It's not a bad year for movies.
Not horrible, but nothing really stands out to me like, oh my god, that's coming out.
Yeah, no,
I'm not. Yeah, I'm just not. Don't trust IMDb. No, you're right. I mean, it's user fucking. It added information. What is this? David Cornsweet is in Twisters. Superman. He's not gonna let his dad die in a twister this time.
Oh my gosh.
No. They're like, yeah. No.
Oh, speaking of like Superman Legacy, did you guys see? I don't know if like this is actually a real post, but apparently it was like James Gunn's post of like him with some people on a yacht and like saying like this is not a cult, like something like that. Did you guys? Any of you guys see that?
No, never saw that.
I did.
Did anyone even like figure out what the heck he was talking about? Was he like being weird?
Don't have a clue.
No.
Okay.
No, you're gonna have to do some research on that, buddy.
Ah, well, if I cared enough. Which I just don't. Honestly, it just doesn't matter.
So, what do you guys think of? I've heard rumors about T'Challa and rumors about Kang.
Like as far as recasting?
As far as recasting for both roles.
I mean, yeah, I mean it's what you do when you need a role filled and someone can't fill it, like you recast. I mean, it's I don't know. With T'Challa, it's a sticky situation.
Please plug the professor in the back.
With T'Challa, it's more a sticky situation because you have a guy that died while he was still associated with the role, so like you have to be a little more sensitive to that. Kang with that situation, just recast.
Yeah, recast the role. I don't
I forgot
understand
who they pinned as far
hard
as
conclusion to come to.
The person who's supposed to take over. Who is? Let's see.
Coleman Domingo, I think his name's been thrown around.
Let's see.
But other than that, yeah.
Roll.
What about I know one that's been thrown around is it Denzel Washington's son?
John David Washington, you're right.
Yeah. I know people have said his name a lot, and I mean I could see it. He's a fine actor. I wouldn't be opposed to that, honestly.
Neither would I.
Then again, I've never seen him in like a exciting role.
I mean, I loved him as the protagonist in Tenet, but I'm on an island in that.
I mean, I liked it too. He just wasn't a very exciting character.
If I could hear what was going on in the movie.
Yeah, there were a lot of sound issues in that movie. I had trouble hearing it too. Which is so weird that like a Christopher Nolan film had such technical issues like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I also for Christopher Nolan couldn't fucking understand what the hell Bane was saying at times.
Yeah,
not a lot of people could.
So he's just like, yeah, make him struggle.
Make him pay attention.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. They need closed captioning in the theater.
Oh, that'd be so helpful.
For his movies, yes. Let's see. That's cool. Let's see. Let me jump over here. RJ is saying there's already an actor being rumored. I forgot his name though.
Coleman Domingo, I think.
Okay. Wait. Okay. Yeah. Usually RJ is pretty on top of the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, that's his field.
He had a channel called Marvel Mania, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did. I remember that. That's true. He was the Marvel Maniac.
Marvel Maniac.
He's a maniac. So, I guess make us act. So what are you working on there, Dawson?
This is I'm working on a pinup for a book.
Ooh, sexy. Yeah. Well, what was her name?
Oh, Lord.
You're the second person I've told today that has reacted that way when it's a very common comic term.
It's a very common term. I agree.
For comics, anyway. No, it's cover art.
Oh, okay.
So just working on that for a creator-owned book right now. I've been meaning to work on this book or this pinup piece for past week. I just was too busy traveling and visiting with people, and it's been a pain. But yeah, I've also been working on that Spawnuary challenge, in case people have seen that. I mean, you guys know what that is, right?
Yeah, you sent it to us in the group chat.
Oh, I did.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. You made us.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, because I spam my art to you guys.
No, you don't.
I know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I've been working a lot on that. I have a thumbnail sketched out for a Haunt tribute cover, So I guess I'll show you guys that thumbnail for that. This is kind of what I'm going for with that. It's just a little quick design of that. So
okay,
we'll see how that turns out. Yeah. Yeah, just working on that little by little and all that good stuff. I'm trying to remember if there was any other kind of like news besides the Steven Yeun.
I mean, that really wasn't news because he didn't like have the role and do like if he did that and he had like a costume fitting and shit and all that, and it was like, oh fuck no, but that didn't happen. So it's like, nobody's like, I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Well, some people are fakely anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be the easiest role for them to recast. Doesn't even matter because Sentry is a fucking no-name character that the general audience does not know. So whoever they get is whoever they get. That's really all.
He's about as well known as Adam Warlock,
right? Yeah, that's a perfect comparison, Ryan.
Yeah,
Sentry is about as well known as Adam Warlock was.
That's very true.
We all saw what happened with Adam Warlock.
I
mean.
Okay, well.
That was all of our reactions.
I'm fucking serious. And the fact that he's got like the whole Guardians crew coming back to work on Superman Legacy, I'm like, oh, great. So that means we're going to see a bunch of like aura shit flying around with Superman. Great. It's going to look like crap.
Yeah. That whole Adam Warlock thing was so underwhelming. Yeah. Adam Warlock, I swear, like, you talk about, as a comics fan, one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe. And your first introduction to him is this slow, like really lame-looking flying shot. It was so unconvincing, and I'm just sitting there like, this is how we're introduced to Adam Warlock. You can literally tell that he's just planking on a table.
Like, no joke. If I had any hard criticisms against Guardians of the Galaxy 3, it's all centered around mostly Adam Warlock and how bad the flying looked, and just how genuinely bad and developed that character was.
Black Adam with like that zoomed in perspective, like fisheye lens almost.
Yeah, I can't disagree.
Yeah,
like it wasn't great, but I think it still looked better than Adam Warlock did.
Yeah, it's the whole Adam Warlock thing just looked so.
It looked bad,
so rough.
It did not look good, and I'm like, okay, we're bringing this crew back for Superman Legacy, and you guys are gonna do this. All right, cool.
I mean, hopefully there's improvements.
Fingers crossed.
I'm not gonna hold my breath.
Neither am I.
And also, like
my breath.
Yeah, but like also with Adam Warlock, to me anyway, it just felt like he was clearly an afterthought when they were making that movie.
Yeah,
where they just kind of forgot, like, oh crap, like we actually promised this guy, and then they put him in there, and they had the stupid Adam God painting homage thing.
It's almost like they didn't know what the fuck to do with Adam Warlock after Infinity. It's like if you were going to introduce this character who has such large ties to Infinity Stones, you should have done it during the Infinity Saga. But I digress.
That's also assuming that, Disney overall has an idea what they're doing with their characters after their saga.
Well, James Gunn has been on record saying, oh yeah, there was a version of the script with Guardians 1 where Adam Warlock was in it, then I cut it out. And then in Guardians 2, we wanted to do him again, but then we couldn't, so we just gave everyone a tease. And then finally they were like, yes, Adam Warlock is going to be in Guardians 3. And I was like, oh, cool. Then we got what we got. And I was like, oh, great.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just... Yeah, that whole movie, everything outside of that rocket story for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3...
questionable at best.
Yes. All the rocket stuff, great. If that was all the movie, awesome. I'd have loved it. I'd have been like walking out of the theater saying, hey, that's a fantastic job. That looked all stellar. But then they went and got rid of any... Again, I've gone off about that movie. It's probably boring to hear me at this point, but...
Hold on one second. I think plans for Infinity War and Endgame were changed dramatically because of James Gunn stuff. I think Adam Warlock was intended to be used way more earlier. No, he was not. They've been on record saying that Adam Warlock was never intended to be used in Infinity War and Endgame. I remember that clear as day because I was watching that production very closely.
Yeah, there's... I don't know. And also, like, I look at it because my little brother, he's a big Adam Warlock fan. Like, he has a bunch of, like, first appearances of Adam Warlock, comic issues, and, and then him seeing that, and he's like, what the freak? Like, why'd they do my boy like that? But, again, I digress.
It was just disappointing. If you're a fan of Adam Warlock, you watch that movie, yeah, I don't blame you one bit for how you feel.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Yeah.
I agree with you though. The Rocket stuff in that movie's fantastic. The High Evolutionary is actually one of the probably better villains they've done.
Yeah, he's actually like, complex and interesting, and like you can see the conflict there. You can see the hatred that Rocket, of course, has for the guy. Although, of course, the whole Rocket deciding to pull a Batman at the end and not kill him was stupid, in my opinion. It's like it's completely in Rocket's character to kill him. He had every right to kill him, and no one would have been mad if he had killed him.
More than justified to do it too, and they just didn't.
And I've pointed this out before. Like, it's become such a common thread or a common story trope where heroes are like, "No, I will not kill. I will not kill." It's like, you know what?
You're talking about Batman?
No, we're talking about Rocket
Heroes
Raccoon
in
and
general.
Guardians 3. It's just like sometimes you got to kill as a hero.
Sure.
You just got to.
Yeah.
Impossible situations require impossible solutions.
Yeah, like soldiers in a battlefield.
Right.
They have to kill.
Yes. None of them are murdering people. They're killing them. It's the difference. The intent is different.
Exactly.
It's not
just,
premeditated. It's not like, okay, I'm going to kill that one guy. I saw him in the hut the other day. I got to find him out and kill him because he's the one.
Like, yeah, I don't know. People just
I
get
can't
all
stop with
upset.
him. I have to get his brother too.
And they're like, you can't be a hero if you're killing. Is like, that's just such BS. And it spits in the face of reality. And it's just a lazy writing trope. It's like, how can we make this hero look heroic? Make him not kill. Simple. It's lazy.
Very
Yeah,
much
the best sort of scenarios are like when the hero fucks up. And it's like,
Yes.
now he's got to learn from it. He has to fix it. He has to find other ways. He's confronted with something he's never been, confronted before. And not every single hero makes the right decisions at every single time.
Right.
So that makes the most compelling stories is the ones that like mess up but have to like learn from their mistakes.
Exactly. And then they have to deal or live with the mistakes they've made.
Yeah.
And overcome them later on. It makes it a more human story. And when you take away that aspect, it makes it boring. It makes it predictable, and it makes it what's the term I'm looking for? It just makes it like childish, in my opinion.
Cheap.
Yeah, boring's a good word.
Predictable?
Cheap, yeah. All those are accurate. All those are very accurate.
God damn it.
You miss out on a shiny?
No, I'm fighting a fucking boss in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, the first one?
He made
No.
a new Pokemon.
Birth
and he
by
killed it.
Sleep. It's the prequel game that came out on PSP, and then they remastered it for PS4.
Oh, nice. I'm looking to pick up a copy of the first one on PlayStation 2.
Now I can agree with RJ on this. And Batman 89 kind of started this right here.
Heroes killing villains is a real it's an
Superman
easy way to
did it.
talk about having to handle dramatic tension or long-term storylines and consequences. No. Here, let me tell you something.
The first part I agree with is that
It
is
can be.
lazy and overdone. Like when he
can
killed
be.
the Joker and he killed Penguin and he's killed Two-Face and every other superhero was like, okay, the villain has to die at the end. It's just like, no, dude, the ones that are better are the ones that like where the villain has time to like rethink and like, holy shit, how am I going to get him?
But like, I kind of agree with the first part. It can be lazy, but I'll tell you this right now. There was when they first made the whole like heroes don't kill thing, especially in comics. That wasn't because I thought that was the more interesting thing to do. Is because they wanted to keep around popular villains to keep selling books.
Yes,
and so they keep relying on that, so they don't have to kill off villains, and so they can fall back on. Well, like for instance with Batman, when he says, "Oh, if I kill, I'll just become like the other villains, or I won't ever stop." To me, that's just lazy because that's just nonsense. Right? Like you're telling me that Batman can't just kill Joker and then never kill again? Kill a guy who's killed thousands, if not millions of people, depending on the story or arc you're talking about. You tell me you can't just kill that guy and be done? To me, that's just nonsense. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense to me. So to an extent, I can agree, but I think the whole heroes don't kill thing has been done so much that it's an easy button in writing. Heroes don't kill. Boom. He's heroic. And I just don't vibe with that. Let's see here. Super movies killing off villains as one and done movie was one of the worst trends in the genre. It can be. If the villain's not well developed.
Sure.
If the villain's not well developed, then it can be. Now, if you have maybe the villain in one movie and then like it ends on a cliffhanger where like you save the day, but you know the guy's still out there, and then the next one you kill him. Yeah, because then at that point you've developed repertoire with the villain. At that point you've kind of developed this sort of distrust or disdain for that character, and you've seen them do these terrible things. Now you can kill them off.
Yeah.
So yeah, one and done. I can understand the distaste for that. I can
Yeah.
absolutely understand that because again, that makes it where you don't have to deal with things later on.
Right.
I get that, but never killing them. That's where I have an issue with. Never making a decision to
You got to
the
kill him
villain.
at least once.
Yeah, you do.
You got to kill all your characters.
Yeah,
at least once.
yeah. It's a good point, Droga. Hawkman saying heroes don't kill in Black Adam. I mean, didn't he only say it once? But like, it was so
Something
He
hard.
did
that.
say it once when they were in Dr. Fate's mansion that he borrowed from Professor X.
Yeah.
There's that.
There is that.
Let's
That-
see.
that
Hold
is a
on.
thing
He
that
says
exists.
it's more interesting if the villain lives and either becomes worse villain for the hero to contend, or goes off to do a redemption story of some kind, where they work with the hero. That can. I don't know.
Yeah, because a
about-
character like the Joker is totally worth that of redemption.
I'm sure
Yeah.
he's thinking more along the lines of like Loki.
Sure.
Yeah,
Loki and the
sometimes
Joker
it
are two
works.
different characters.
Yeah. No, they are. See, plus if you
sometimes
kill
it
the
works.
villains, you're scrapping. I think he means scraping. You're scraping the bottom of the barrel for who the hero has to face. Imagine if Batman killed the Joker and we didn't see him again. Oh wait, they do that. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of different runs. Like you can kill the Joker in this run, but not in another run, and it's not going to like destroy the continuity. of the
Also,
whole
there's a
fucking universe.
solution to that. There's a
That's
solution to that.
issue
called-
number 1.
yeah. But there's a solution to that. Write more interesting villains. Like for
Oh
me,
wow! Well, look who showed up late to the game. Have y'all seen the Anakin versus Obi-Wan Clone Wars animation? Hello. Hello. Are you advertising for
news.
these people? I mean, we did this shit at the beginning of the damn show. Where you been? Go back to bed.
old news.
Go back,
Go back
to
to
bed.
bed.
What was I saying?
You're talking about how Joker can't die.
Oh yeah, like for me, it never made sense that all the villains in Batman's Rogues Gallery are alive at the same time,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
I
like
suppose that makes
active
sense.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Because that's just too much going on. So like for me, it's like you have villain rise up here, then another villain here, and then but them all existing at the same time. Like if they all existed at the same time, they just overwhelm Batman.
Well, yeah.
So-
That's why he's crazy.
I
But no, I don't. I personally don't have a problem with them all existing at the same time. I have a
Neither
problem
do
with
I.
them all, performing coups at the same time.
There's
you
a
know.
story that actually goes over that. It's called Nightfall. Bane breaks every single villain out of Arkham Asylum, and it's literally meant to overwhelm Batman to the point of near physical exhaustion so he can break his back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you learn something new every day, Dawson.
At least I knew that. It
Yeah,
leads to
yeah,
his
yeah.
downfall.
Maybe you should become a Batman fan.
Wow.
Let me introduce you to my entire shelf of Batman.
Is
That's not
it
even
there?
on
Is
my list.
Nightfall there?
I have a digital
And
version.
then
of
after
Nightfall.
that, do you see Night Quest?
And then Night's End.
I do not
I
have
think
physical
his
copies of those.
shelf is too short or too small for that.
Where's your shelf, Ryan?
I don't have a shelf. My shelf is right up here.
Mine's over there.
Yeah, he's got a shelf.
See, I don't question Phil. I question you, Ryan.
He wears his Batman beanie. So
Batman's my
Can't.
guy.
yeah, we all know that. For you, we're not sure yet
You
who
freaking
your
kidding
guy
me?
is. Yeah.
I have a lot of guys.
Oh, whoa! Hey now, hey.
Only
now.
Ryan
Let's
can make
calm
that
down there,
dirty.
buddy. Calm
Only
down
Ryan
there,
can make that
buddy.
dirty. But Batman is one of them.
Oh, he's one of
That
your
is one of them.
guys. All right. Nice.
I mean, I think that's
Let's
pretty
see.
clear at this point.
Cortez says, I feel like it depends on the villain, like Two-Face. He's there is hints he could be rehabilitated, but characters like Joker, who's made it clear that he won't change his ways, would be justified.
Perfect. Yes, that's a great way to put it. It depends on the villain. It shouldn't just be all across the board. Like I can't kill any villains. You have to have some.
Why do people live in Gotham in general? I don't know. Maybe it's cheap living. Maybe
It is. Cheap.
The housing market's pretty good there.
Crime ridden as all hell, but cheap as shit to live in.
All thanks to Amber. Amber Heard.
What?
He says all thanks to Amber.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
assuming
this
he
should be
means
going
Amber
for
Heard.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like 15 minutes behind. Love Tenet, by the way.
And it's great.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
It was an interesting concept. I liked the way shit was shot in reverse. I liked all that. It was pretty cool. But I had a problem with hearing what the fuck was going on.
I don't
That's
doubt
my problem.
that if people want to talk about Nolan's quote worst movie, it's either going to be The Dark Knight Rises or Tenet at this point.
The Dark Knight Rises is for me his worst.
That's understandable.
Yeah,
Completely. Because that movie made a lot of choices.
It did.
definitely made a lot of.
The
lot of
bat
choices.
was one of them.
Oh God, yeah.
That was
The what?
one of the worst.
Bat?
And Batman running around in his outfit in the daylight when it was more like a spongy, like it looked like just like a onesie. You know, it was padded and his armor, kind of moved like fabric instead of, it just looked bad. It looked bad. It did not translate well for that film.
No.
And then Levitt,
yeah,
Jordan
Robin.
Gordon- yeah, that
Levitt.
was so bad.
I remember watching
Ugh.
that theater, being like, "What the hell? What is this?"
I like The Dark Knight Rises, but it's the weakest. I don't like it. I just don't. There's nothing really good in it. And yet a
enjoy
Catwoman that wasn't Catwoman. She just had she had glasses that she put up, and that's like, okay, so you're Catwoman. That's dumb.
She was never called Catwoman in the
Never
movie.
called
funny enough.
Catwoman.
Never called Catwoman. Not once.
And she could ride that bike like a fucking boss. Like you've never like I couldn't ride a fucking bike that easily. Like
Ryan
that.
never learned how to ride a bike. You heard it here first.
I've never learned how to ride a bike.
Good God.
The Dark Knight Rises is better than the Batman?
Oh no.
I can't agree
No,
with that.
I don't agree with that.
I can't agree with Batman Begins is better than the Batman. And I think that the Batman
That's more of a conversation.
I think that
is
the
absolutely more of a
Batman,
conversation.
because of the time it came out, borrowed a lot of stuff from Batman Begins and the Dark Knight together.
I think in certain respects, yeah. I suppose.
I mean, I'm sorry, but it definitely influenced Matt Reeves, which, I mean, it's not a bad thing. You're making the same fucking
Yeah,
character.
but you can make the debate that any of the prior Batman movies influenced Batman.
Adam West.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To an extent.
That influenced Schumacher's Batman.
And to some
yeah.
extent, the Batman.
Yeah, with
Was he-
costume design.
He deliberately used villains from the Batman 66 movie. Joker, Catwoman, Penguin, and Riddler.
Oh, that were
That's
all in
true.
it. Yeah,
I still remember when Matt Reeves came out and said that the costume
but not
would be
official
inspired.
for Joker because he wasn't really
Yeah.
there.
But I still remember when Matt Reeves came out and said that the costume would be inspired by Adam West's Batman, and I was so scared. I was just like, "What are you doing?
was
What is
terrified.
this going to be?"
I
Dawson had heart
actually
palpitations.
like it.
I did.
I don't like it.
Oh man, that was.
Let's get
Yeah,
Andre to
Susan
talk
said
about
that.
the ears.
Oh,
He
God.
loves those ears.
He loves talking about the ears, yeah.
Yes, he does.
I have-
And the cheek. The cheek. He had a problem with it being way back here. He was like, I don't like the way it looks.
That costume grew on me a lot.
I like
getting
I
used
like
to.
the cowl. I like the what is that? It was on the cape.
collar?
It's the collar. Yeah, I like that. The only thing I don't like is his bat on his chest.
Because it's like,
I just didn't like it.
it's also apparently the only batarang in the movie.
And he used
Yeah.
it like once,
One
and it
time.
was like, what? Like, you should be using that thing a little bit more than that.
It was a
Just,
utility knife.
Yeah.
yeah, something like use it to fucking feed yourself, or like here I'm gonna use this to spread butter on my toast.
You
But,
used it as a kitchen knife.
He just didn't use it. He used it one time, and it was very. It didn't sell it for me, and And everybody was like, that's the gun. He cut it in half and put it on as a reminder for his parents. Oh, it's that sentimental value. And it wasn't.
See, I bought into that rumor because it made sense.
Should have fuck bought into it. But what I liked better was what they did in the comics, which makes more sense, is that he fucking took the gun and he molded it under his suit.
Yeah.
And
That's
I like that.
Story.
Yes.
Put it on the more vulnerable part of his suit.
Yes.
And
so I like that.
More. Yeah. So it would have been an adaptation of that idea had it actually been what they were going for. Which, like, again, I was a big supporter of that idea. Like, I thought that was a really cool concept. But regardless, they didn't do it, and that's fine.
They did not.
It is what it is.
It's not fine. It's not going to be fine ever. It'll never be fine again. Yeah, no, like, I hope that in the Batman 2 they use more batarangs, and, like, again, we'll see a lot of updates in the suit, so hopefully that is true.
Hopefully they don't mess with his cowl that much so that Andre has something to complain about.
RJ here says Sony is now rumored to be making a live-action CG hybrid Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham film. Oh gosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, Spider-Ham was in the first one.
Yeah. But pass.
Wouldn't put it past them to make that. Yeah. I mean, after the Beyond the Spider-Verse is done, they're gonna be like, what do we do now to make money?
Well, they're already making a Spider-Man Noir show for Amazon. Are they still not doing that?
No, that's official. That's moving forward.
Okay, good. Because I'm actually really excited for that.
Oh, yeah?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to be in black and white. You freaking kidding me?
Is it going to be voiced by Nicolas Cage?
No.
I know, but I wish it would be.
No, it's going to be a completely different version. It's not going to be Peter Parker.
I would love for him to come back and just... Because I love that whole line where it's, everywhere I go, the wind follows. And the wind smells like rain. It's like, yes. I don't know why that made me so happy. But it did. I'm surprised Ryan had nothing to say about that.
Why? Why would I have anything to say about that?
You usually mock stuff like that.
What?
No.
Ryan mocking
You're
something?
weird.
What? Oh, man.
No, that doesn't do it. That's weird.
What are you trying to do, Ryan?
Oh, my mouse wheel's acting up. So
My mouse was acting up yesterday, too. I had to reset all my stuff, and I was using my mouse.
yeah,
and it was
I can't scroll up and down. It changes the volume for my headset instead of scrolling up and down like the different pages that you go to. You just kind of hover over the page and scrolling. You use the wheel to roll up and down on messages or whatever, and you do it. I'll figure it out later. But let's see.
RJ here says, are you guys going to watch part 1 of the Crisis animated movie?
Yep.
It comes out January 9th. Hey, it comes out on my birthday.
Yeah, I'm going to watch
Yes,
I'm going to watch all 3. And
It's 3 parts?
It is 3 parts. Yeah, it's they're
Damn it.
I hopefully goodbye to that style of animation.
Yeah,
I don't think it was I don't think it was a selling point for them.
No, definitely not. It's just not a good style.
Nope.
It just
Not
isn't.
really.
Doesn't work for me. But it's whatevs.
Yeah.
Whatevs.
Cortez says, I just prefer if Sony stopped making these unnecessary supervillain movies. I feel like they're adding fatigue to CBM.
Well, I saw someone have a take on this that I actually really agreed with, or I saw their point anyway. Maybe I shared it with you guys, but I can't remember. But someone pointed out that, like, what was the studio that made that old Fantastic Four movie in the 90s or the 80s? It was never released, but they made it just so they can maintain the rights to the Fantastic Four
films, I think.
Yeah, and there was someone that was theorizing that that's kind of similar to what Sony's doing with these Spider-Man properties. They're making films about them, and like if they're good, then fine. But if not, they're just being made so they can retain the rights.
It was one of the reasons why they made Superman Returns.
Yeah,
because they needed to get something in production because the estate holders were like, "Yo, you haven't had a Superman film in such a long time. if you don't make something by this date, then we take back full rights. And so they got on that, and they did the whole thing with the Marlon Brando family and everything, and gave us Superman Returns.
Yep. We all saw how that turned out.
Yeah. For better or worse.
Crisis movie are probably gonna be terrible. I don't know. We'll see. Could be.
What was the latest animated movie from that universe that came out?
Justice
the
League
last
War
one that
World.
was good. Yeah, I haven't seen War World yet, but the last one that I saw that
either.
was good was the Long Halloween, which wasn't bad.
Yeah,
I
enjoyed that one a lot.
Of course,
That one was
Batman's
good.
easier. In my
Yeah.
opinion, Batman's easier to translate story.
Especially in
and still-
animation.
Yes.
Plus, it's a long Halloween. You just follow
So
the
Droga
script.
says War World is terrible. I haven't seen it yet. I will watch it.
War World is not great.
It's not great.
Mm.
Okay, you heard it here first. Second, whatever. Anyway, I'll still watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, just to be up to date whenever Crisis comes out, because I'm assuming that's gonna follow the storyline that's established there and continues there, or whatever, and whatever. It just, I don't know. After I watched The Long Halloween, I was like, all right, cool. Then everything else that was coming after that, I was like, all right, don't care enough about that. When's that Watchmen movie coming out?
No one knows.
Oh, it was just announced. That's it.
Undated, but it's for sure coming out this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They've been working on it?
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah,
the
it's coming
cast?
out. It's coming
Have
out
they
this year, but they haven't announced the cast or anything.
Interesting. I wonder why they're holding out on that.
Oh,
That's kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
Not
Is
they
what
would,
it
but
is.
I would love it if they brought back someone like Patrick Wilson as Night Owl.
That'd be cool.
It'd be awesome. But they won't. They'll try to stay away from Zach's cast because whatever. Studios just, I don't know. The weird hate boner people have for Zach is just weird.
There it is.
It's always been weird.
Huh. So if you have a
And-
DPI button on your mouse, all you have to do is press and hold that for 5 seconds, and it works. Yay!
Allegedly.
Interesting.
No, it works. I just did it. Everything
Allegedly.
is working back.
Allegedly.
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 Ooh, wow. Man,
Yes.
nice.
What? Hmm.
What?
Pardon me.
What? What? What are you going on about? What? What?
Pardon me. Do you have any Grey Poupon?
Ah!
That's great.
Oh man, I need to rewatch Wayne's World. That movie just keeps popping in my head the past couple weeks, and I'm just like, I just need to rewatch it. It's been way too long. Way too dang long.
damn!
Ugh.
I'm now seeing David Ayer's tweets. Holy shit!
Oh yeah, you're not just not seeing him?
I'm just now seeing them. Yeah, Fred
Yeah,
White
he's
just
been
sent-
going ham on letting people know, like, hey, I'm just done with superhero stuff. I'm letting people
Yeah.
know, like, yeah.
I mean, look,
Which
he
is
did his movie, right? He's done.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to, I mean, there comes a time where you have to put a cork in it. He's, like I said, he spoke with James Gunn. They even tweeted about that shit. James even tweeted about it, like, yo, I spoke with David Ayer. Yeah, his version needs to be seen. And they just kind of let it. That's where they left it. And, but everybody still, is just like, oh no, we can't let it die. And because, I mean, people are afraid, like, if you don't say anything, it's going to go away and you'll never get it and you'll never see it and whatever. It's like, dude, there's a time and a place for things to be released. And,
Mhm.
spend, if that's the way you want to spend your time just retweeting that or whatever, release the haircut. Great. Good on you. But that's not going to change the tide. That's your voices aren't going to change much. The only way you're going to change much is if there's something catastrophic.
I know a lot of people are pointing out that, like, James Gunn was like, oh yeah, it needs to be seen, and now it's like, well, it's not going to happen. And that's like, well, that's quite the turn. But again, it all makes sense just because, again, we've talked about how James Gunn's establishing his own universe and doesn't want anything undermining it, and it's whatever.
That is a fucking crying shame.
Yeah,
But
it's
it is what it is.
It is
also
what it is.
I find it funny that people, like, when David Ayer said, no, I'm done with superhero movies, that they were shocked. It's like, dude, he hasn't done a superhero movie since 2016. Why are you shocked?
Yeah.
Like, he's not currently doing them. Why would him saying, I'm not doing them anymore, shock you?
Yeah, right.
There's like, oh, man, this is it's ridiculous. Like, okay, what'd you expect? What do you think he was doing? Not superhero movies.
Yeah.
And, like, honestly, good for him. Because it's almost kind of like how I feel with artists and writers who are leaving the big comic companies like Marvel and DC and going and doing their own thing. It's like they're going to have the opportunity to do some more interesting stuff. More unique, interesting stories that they're passionate about, that they have ultimate freedom to do.
Yeah.
Same thing with movie directors. If they're out from under the umbrella of these big studios and big studio productions, then good for them. They broke out. And that's great. But that's just my take.
Nice.
You know, all of that's just really unfortunate. They did him dirty. They should have let him have his cut scene.
They should have, to be completely honest, they should have released it right after the Snyder cut, just to get it out, get it done.
Yeah.
You know, like if you like the Snyder cut and you like this one, great. You know, we're not gonna change what we're doing here. We're not gonna amend any of our plans or whatever. But you got these things. Here you go. You saw them. Good for you. Move on. But
and it just emphasizes the truth that Zack Snyder's movie being released was not out of the goodness of Warner Brothers' hearts.
No.
It emphasizes the fact that they were launching HBO Max during the pandemic. They needed something to bring in streaming numbers, and Zack Snyder's Justice League was right there for the taking. And so it shows like, oh, okay, well, we're not going to do David Ayers because, well, we have no real need for it. So they're not going to do it.
Right.
And again, we've all stated how much we want to see David Ayers' version of the film. Like, I think that's pretty well clearly stated at this point from all of us. It just sucks for him. But he seems like he's at peace. He's like, you know what? I'm done. It's been such a burden on his life from everything that I've heard him say about production of the film, about post-production, about how the movie was received. Like, hearing him talk about that whole situation on the, what podcast was it with John Bernthal? Gosh, I can't remember, but the way he described how he felt after all that went down is just like, yeah, good for you getting out of that, honestly.
For sure. 100%.
For show.
Ho for show.
Well, guys, we have reached the 2-hour mark, where we like to leave things. We appreciate you guys interacting with us in this new year. There's not a whole lot of news that we could cover today, but still wanted to have a nice get together with you guys and just kind of chat it out in 2024, which for some reason Dawson can't believe that we're in 2024.
Well, that's just weird.
And next year will be 2025. I mean, yes, it's totally inaccurate as far as what year it is, but whatever. It is what we call it, and it is what we will say it is. But anyway, going around the horn, we'll start with Phil. Phil, are you doing your DC United? Or
I've actually been thinking about doing a second stream for DC United, going over what the hell happened with DC movies in 2023 and having a solid conversation about that. Haven't quite put down a date for it yet. It's not a very active channel, honestly, but me and Craig did do another episode of The Eternal Night. I released that on January 1st, bringing the new year. We did a review of Merry Little Batman, talked about some other stuff.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that was coming up.
It came out last month. We were trying to get one out earlier, but Craig wound up getting COVID, so that delayed things quite a fair bit. Anyway, yeah, if anyone wants to follow me, it's just at Unfiltered on Vero, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads. Yeah, that's about it, because fuck Twitter.
Yeah, fuck Twitter, even though it on here it is unfiltered, but just so you can see how he spells it, there you go, Unfiltered. Definitely check out Nickatina Show. He is he's currently on assignment for us today. We sent him out, and hopefully he's
getting some scoops for us.
Getting some scoops. He's our resident scooper. And check out.
Just kidding, Andre.
Check out DJW Art.
Yes.
And
actually just uploaded a new print today. Is a print of my Spawnuary entry for the contest. So be sure to go check that out. I'll be putting a lot more Spawn cover concepts out for that contest as the month of January continues on. My next ones will be Scorch related, of course, later on in the month, and Gunslinger Spawn and all of that jazz. So I'm going to be putting out a lot of content. And yeah, and also going to have my next Comic-Con in February in Roanoke, Virginia. So
Roanoke.
So if anyone's in the area.
I might be at SAC Anime this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so if you go to SAC Anime, definitely look for Phil. He'll be there signing autographs, taking fan photos, all that. Maybe we'll look into getting him a booth.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I know Phil and I have talked about some possibilities, some Comic-Con stuff this year, if we can maybe make some of that work.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That's a big if.
Big
yeah.
if.
But we're going to try.
What are you guys going to try to meet somewhere in the middle? You gonna
not necessarily
hook up like in the Kansas Comic-Con?
Kansas Comic-Con.
Right in the smack in the
middle. We're looking at some options because again, I have tables, so like if we go, like that'd just be really cool. So we'll see. And of course, Ryan, you're invited if we figure it out.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But just put it this way. If Dawson is James Gunn, I'm Peter Safran.
You're giving that weird smirk. There's Phil.
No. It ain't me.
Guys, thanks for watching.
Let
me add this. Let me add this on here. Check out my art. I've been putting it on Instagram because that's pretty much the only place I'm putting things out right now. Maybe TikTok a little later, but for right now, I'm just putting these things out. Been drawn on here. This is one of my page layouts. I haven't added any of the borders yet. I draw everything first, then I'll go back and flat it, and then I'll color it, and then I'll add the bubbles, the dialogue bubbles for anything that has dialogue.
Nice.
But yeah, that's there you go. If anybody is interested, you see, so down there, if you can tell, like right here, I made those tire tracks, and
I remember you posting about that. Yeah,
man, I put tire tracks behind the van to begin with, and I just like kind of smudged it, and I was like, I don't really like that much. So I made a brush that is a tire track brush, and I used that, and then is the tire track brush just an overhead shot of the tire tracks? It is.
Can you manipulate it? Okay.
It's overhead, so it's just basically because of the perspective that I drew here. I was like, you know what? All I need is a flat brush, and in no other place in the the art is there any tire tracks on the street level that you can see. Everything else is kind of tight, close up, whatever. Tight. So yeah, tight. So I'm having a good time, drawing this thing out, and I will eventually be able to color this stuff. And then and that was my first attempt at paneling, and I was like, I don't like it. So I'm researching more on that. That's one of the reasons why I haven't done that yet. That is me working with lines and perspectives, and that shot came out pretty well. And so you got Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and then here's my character kind of popping out saying, "Hey, what's up? You guys are the top three." So, yes, sir. So yeah, check it out on my Instagram. Follow me on Twitter as well if you want. Check out my my t-shirts if you want to grab a shirt from if you didn't get the shirts that you wanted over the holiday or whatever. Check out my store over at TeePublic. See if there's anything on there that you would be interested in and grab something, and I'd appreciate it, man. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, I love that. Love seeing progress on the book, man. I think it's.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm up to 14 pages, and I just got a couple more to do, and then I can start completing this thing out, and then I'll have it done.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna be working on 2 different books this year, and it's gonna be a busy year. I'm very, very excited for that fact. That's gonna be a nice, busy year.
Yeah,
with art, which is always nice. And as far as like, have you given any thought of like where you're gonna debut it at? Are you gonna like?
This one is gonna be digital. I will make some physical copies. I don't know how many I'm gonna make, but I've been looking at options. Mm-hmm.
For posterity.
Yes, and but mainly this will be available digitally, and I just it'll be available for free. And then I have a story for the character that I want to kind of tell or whatever, and I'd like to maybe start up a GoFundMe or something like that, whatever those things are, Kickstarter, and try to do that, because I mean I'm doing this in my spare time. If I could get some more help as far as like focus, freeing up time for focus, then I could get it done pretty quick. So. But yeah, I'm just doing things as I can, and it's challenging because I do it like during when I first wake up at 5 a.m. Or lunch, or in the wee hours of the evening when everybody's asleep. So I try to not really bother anybody else in the house with that, and kind of give everybody my attention. So that's fair. Yeah, it's just but it can get taxing over time, and you can get very tired and get real burnt out trying to handle it that way. But that's what I'm doing so far. So but yeah, it's a fun process, and I like it, and it's all me, and that's just one of the things that I like about it, is that I don't really have to rely on anybody else. I can handle it all myself. The time frame just gets extended a little bit further because it's all me. So
yeah, there's no deadlines they have to worry about, and there's no other creatives in the building that you have to be concerned about. You're just like, do I like this personally? It's like, again,
I don't have to follow up with anybody. I don't have to feel like I'm badgering or bothering anybody. Like, hey, is this, you're going to be done by this time? You're going to make this deadline? Whatever.
You don't have Andre badgering you to get it done.
Oh my God! If he was connected to this project, I swear, dude, it would. Man, I would talk to that. Okay, so when we did Project Justice League, he would call me multiple times throughout the day about different things that I was doing, and he was just and the same thing with the other artists. He would tell me about, like, you think I should call him now? I was like, dude, they're not on the same. One of them wasn't on the same time frame as us, and I was like, nah, I think just we'll hear from him tomorrow. And he's like, okay, I haven't heard from him today, so do you think I should call him? I was like, all right, yeah, go ahead. It was funny. Because I mean, he was excited, number one, but also number two, he was just very anxious to get it done. That's the only thing I don't. Oh yeah, man, it's fun. There's still people that watch it, and we appreciate everybody that watches it and promotes it or whatever. Like Andre always sends me links, like, hey, look, this person said it was pretty cool, and I was like, oh man, yeah, it's great, love it.
We get plenty of comments on the version that's on this channel that I see that people are really appreciative of it, and really get a kick out of a lot of things that you guys did with it. And because right now and forever probably it's the only place where you're actually going to get to see what things could have been. And that's pretty much it, and hopefully it brings closure to a lot of fans that really wanted to see something like that. So look at this guy. Oh, there he is. Sorry. What's up?
He finally shows up. Yeah, this guy ain't working. He ain't working.
He's on his lunch break.
He's on his lunch break. He's at home washing his tights.
He's in the back room trying not to get caught by his boss.
His boss? Oh, yeah. No, if she caught him, he'd be in a heap of trouble. But anyway, so it's fun, and every time we see something about that, it's always good feedback. Good to hear, how haven't really had to deal with any hatred or anything, you know, like haters, like y'all had mentioned. Just a lot of the stuff is positive, because I think the only people that actually seek it out or want to see it or are interested or whatever are people that have seen, you know, Zach's work on the DC universe and just kind of want a little bit of closure for themselves. Like, oh wow, yeah, that's kind of maybe where it could have gone, or a possibility or whatever. And
This is the idea we had.
that's it.
Yeah. You're
That's
too busy blocking out the haters.
Yeah. But all right, man. Thanks for the 4Nerds kind of showing up for a moment. And we'll see you guys next time. You guys have a great evening and peace out.
Ciao.
This is Richard Citrone, and you're watching the 4Nerds. Soon to be